Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hardly Heroes. How are my two favorite players doing today?
We're back.
We're back. I'm great. Life's been good.
Good.
Can't complain.
Excellent.
I've had a busy week, but it's the hard parts come to an end now, so feeling good.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything to chit-chat about, or should we hop straight into the heist?
I think we just hop right into
heist,
it. Yeah. We've been chit-chatting before everyone else started listening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They've interrupted us, really. We were having a really nice conversation before
We were.
turned up. Looking at us, listening to us.
Shout out to Nancy Pelosi, the best stock trader of all time.
That's right. You can imagine what we were talking about.
And shout out to Signal for its great publicity in recent days. Although you're watching this months delayed, so I don't know if these remarks will mean anything to you people of the future.
Well, not on Patreon, they're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's,
Patreons
that's
are
story,
getting it.
that story was fucking out, something else.
Oh, yeah, we
JD
talked a
Vance
lot
is
about
such a
Before you
cunt.
shut up.
Okay, we can move on, but I just wanted to get that in there.
Did you call an RVP a cunt? Really?
Yeah. I feel
But like
if
in the
anyone
Australian way, where it's like a fun.
like in the Scottish way. You know, like you really mean it.
Do the Scots really mean it?
They mean it, yeah, for sure.
Oh man.
They're not like the Australians. I was talking to a friend about this. There is something. No offense to any Australians listening, but they are a rare breed over there. They're a strange group. Like they're almost like more British in some ways than us. Like they take the sort of like unhinged things that we do in our culture and crank that up whilst turning down like all of the civilized stuff. And what you've got is just like an island full of fucking lunatics, like driven mad by a hole in the ozone layer and deadly insects and giant spiders and shit. And they're just a rare breed. Like if you ever go visiting in Europe, like there's always a group of like Australian 20-something-year-olds just causing havoc in like a beautiful town square. Like it's just a mainstay.
Wow.
Rant over. Next week, we'll talk about the Irish.
But this week, we're going to Cauldron. We're going to kidnap this kid. What's his name? Wilhelm what?
Will
Do I got it written down?
Do we even care?
I do. Yeah, Wilhelm Shacklebrook, which is a good name.
Yeah.
He sounds like the son of a famous explorer.
Ah, you mean Ernest Shackleton? The man
Yeah.
who explored, who tried to get to the South Pole, but his boat got frozen in ice before he even got to Antarctica. And then he spent 2 years trying to get home.
Did he die?
No, he made it back with his entire crew, not a single casualty, even though they were stranded in the middle of the South Atlantic for 2 years just on ice.
What were they doing? Just fishing?
They were trying to make the first expedition to the South
Exploring,
Pole.
right?
Oh, no, I meant like, what were they doing to survive? Like just fishing?
Oh, no, because there's no fish. There's not a lot of fish out there
Yeah,
in easily
rations,
accessible
probably.
spots. There were
2
some
years of rations?
There were some
Yeah,
rations,
they take
not good
extras.
rations, and very small portions. And eventually they found themselves on like a deserted island that had some local wildlife. And then like you got tide pools and a couple other things you can do.
All right.
Yeah.
It's good that it ended well for them. It's very similar to the two ships, the HMS Terror and the Erebus, from that show that I've been telling you to watch for about 10 years.
Yeah.
But it doesn't end so well for them.
Yeah. This actually ends pretty well.
Yeah. Shacklebrook. And now his son is an entitled little fuck in Cauldron.
Yeah. Ernest Shackleton was a cool dude. This Wilhelm Shacklebrook, screw him.
Yeah.
Some entitled. What is he doing over here? Trying to revitalize the economy of this ruined town.
He's probably trying to revitalize his own wallet. His own coin purse, more like.
Well, it's time for you to go
Taking
revitalize
advantage
his
of the-
mom.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he's taking advantage of women in Cauldron.
So
That's
are
your
we
hope,
on our-
right?
We're taking advantage of, yeah.
Are we on our way then with Lemon in tow?
Yes.
Okay.
The 6 of you and Lemon are heading to Cauldron. Your carpenter, Bootsy, he did all your work. He's headed home. He's taken the cart and everything and all the tools, and he's headed back on the North Road. You're not going to escort him home. He'll probably be fine. You know.
I hope he doesn't get eaten by a giant spider.
Is he taking the cart? Because I thought we had the cart like hooked up to a horse.
Yeah,
we were gonna
there's like an
use
ox
that.
that's pulling it.
No, we're gonna bury the gold and come back for it. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, but how are we gonna get the gold to the spot that we need to bury it?
We'll get a different cart at that point. We need to come back. We need to give it some time to rest, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
He can head home. Fine.
Yeah, you can always get another cart, or you can take this cart from him later. Like, we're talking about, hundreds of gold pieces in value that you're going to get from this kid. So a cart is nothing.
Whoa, hang on. It's more than that, isn't it? What did we agree the ransom was?
Thousands, I thought.
We wrote the ransom letter, I think. So.
Yeah, you had a very specific ransom letter.
Because I know that we got what's her name to help us with the value.
Barbara Ann.
Sexy
Barbara Ann.
For an old lady, she's looking good.
She's not old. She's lying.
Is this why you're so
older.
interested in Nancy Pelosi?
Sexy Nancy Pelosi.
Roasted. Oh my god. Get a grip of yourself.
Wasn't it like it was like 10,000 gold or something, like 8,000. It was a
large
It was
quantity.
like 6 months of expenses.
I think it was like 50-50 spellbook to ransom was my remembering.
And what do you think you're going to get for the spellbook?
$5,000.
Yeah, 5k. I think we're looking at 5k for the ransom, 5k for the spellbook.
No, it was higher than that.
No,
because it was 6 months of expenses. So yeah, maybe 5k. You're right. Because
yeah,
our expenses are like 700 gold. So
that's a 500,000 copper right there. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, what does it say in the letter, Neil? You can read the letter. Read the letter. What does it say? Stay
letter schmetter,
Did you text me a letter?
No, he dictated it.
We read it out to you, didn't we?
Yeah, you dictated it. I wrote it down. I think it's $5,000.
That's what I thought. I thought it was $5,000, and then we were gonna ask for $5,000 from which is fair.
It's in my notes somewhere. I'm looking through it just for confirmation.
Okay, well, if we
paranoid.
get confirmation elsewise, we can update it.
Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We won't hold you to the 5k.
So the 6 of you plus Lemon head in to Cauldron. Now Cauldron is not in ruins as much as the rest of the world around you. There are still some ruined sections, but for the most part, Cauldron's looking all right. The debris has been cleaned up. What is destroyed is like tidily destroyed, while the streets in between it are fine. A lot of the old ruined bricks and stones have been repurposed for new building material, and all the stuff that's like too crumbly to use anymore has been ground down to make like aggregate for like roads and whatnot. So it's not like nice cobblestone roads, but it's just like crushed rock roads everywhere. But that's useful. It drains well. You can still go across it. You don't want to walk barefoot maybe, but it's all looking nice. The town is coming together. There's a flourishing little, farmer's market in the downtown section where people from all around come to trade their farmed goods, their honey, their fruits and vegetables, their cattle. The abattoir over there is probably busy all day, every day. That's a slaughterhouse worker, for those of you that don't know.
I found it. It was 5,000 gold. Thank you, Gabriel, for writing the recap.
Yeah,
thank you, Gabriel.
For 14. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Cauldron. Here's your town. Now you want to get Lemon somewhere that this kid's gonna be, right?
The nicest tavern, then, right?
I assume, right, if we imagine us getting here, right, we've been walking through the forest along the river. We're all very muddy. I expect we need to find somewhere where, at the very least, Lemon can clean herself up. We probably want to clean ourselves up as well, because we don't want to probably look like we've just been traipsing through the rainwood for the last 3 days.
Yeah, it's been days out there, getting there, digging your holes, making your boats, coming back. You all kind of stink. You need a place to wash up. And luckily, Cauldron has, it's got a flop house, a little inn where anyone can come and go. It's not very expensive. Everyone shares one big room. There's some beds and some, small mattresses.
Come in all at the same time either. We spread it out.
At the very least, Lemon has to be not seen with us.
So Lemon will come in like first, and then she can go and find her, her spot, blah, blah, blah. She can fix it up. And then, me and Luther might come in. We'll come in as 2s versus all 6 of us.
Yeah.
You're going to need to designate some sort of meetup place, though, right? Because you're not just all going to wander in and not see each other again.
Correct. The meetup place will be at just the
market.
The market. Yeah.
We'll meet up in the market in the morning.
Okay. Everyone meets up in the market in the morning. Easy to find. Great. Lemon heads in first. She's got 100 gold on her for expenses and whatnot, just like the rest of you. And then the two of you come on in. And you trot in on your rented horses, your loaned, your leased horses, down on that main road, right into Cauldron. And you come to the center of town. It's a 3-way intersection. The little market's here. There's some ruined buildings and some freshly built bleachers that overlook this big geyser, where Cauldron gets its name, where they used to boil people alive. And you can see it's fixed. They've fixed it up. That little wooden cage, it's back in business, baby. There's new jute rope that wraps it all together. And sure enough, there's an execution going on right now. Or at least, it'll be happening as soon as the water boils.
That's awesome.
Wow, well, we got to stay and watch that.
We're gonna watch this, Lemon.
Yeah, you wouldn't
You're
go
not
to
with
Egypt
Lemon.
and not look at the pyramids, would you?
Oh, good.
Luther, can we watch this?
What is it?
Looks like some sort of execution. He's up there.
Oh, I forgot about that they do that down here. Oh, these people are fucking sick. Fucking crazy bastards. They're gonna boil him alive, Yeah, we gotta watch this. You didn't get a chance to see this every day. You wouldn't go to Heatstroke and not go to the temple, would you?
I'll ask someone standing around.
What'd he do?
One of the people trying to get a better look goes, "Oh, you don't know? He stole from the..." He stole from the new Lord Shacklebrook.
Oh, what'd he take?
Well, he broke in through the keep, got over the wall, knocked out a guard, got inside the castle, was in Lord Shacklebrook's chambers, rummaging around trying to get his stuff. When the door opened, Captain the guard busts in, kicks the guy down, puts a sword to his throat, another guy come in, they take the dude, toss him down in the makeshift dungeons, and this is just last night. And here, justice being served swift. Those fucking those thieves, those brigands, those people that are making life hard, fuck them all, I say. Watch the guy boil.
Nick, do we need to save this guy?
Nah, fuck him.
He sounds very
He sounds great, but we've already got Goat, so.
I know.
Although we could give Goat the old pointy shuffle off this mortal coil.
But this guy sounds like
We can't save him.
he's leveled up.
If we
Can you
save him,
explain the scene, Koibu?
we're not
Yeah.
going to be able to come back. It's going to ruin the heist. We can't save him.
There is I'm gonna
I whisper
make a
in
little
the ear.
doodle.
We can't save him. This guy's fucked.
No, but he's very good. It sounds like he's good.
He's only for the next 10 minutes, because soon his skin's going to be in a puddle on the floor.
All right, so we've got this shaped thing right here. This is the cauldron right here. This ball sack looking thing is where a geyser erupts from, and then the water just naturally flows down river. This is the start of the Misty Rapids River. And on the sides, we've got these large bleachers that have been set up that run over here. So, like rows and rows of seats that elevate higher and higher. And then there's a set down over here where people can hang out and watch. And then behind these bleachers are some large buildings. Whoops, it should be in a different color.
Are we in the bleachers then?
You are standing on the ground in between the you're right here,
Okay.
coming up to look. You don't have a great view of what's going on, although the guy is lifted up into the air. There is I forget the name of the tool. It's basically a log with a fulcrum, and so you put the cage on one end, and you can lift and pull from the other end, and there's some rocks on the other end to counterbalance it, and so that way you can put someone in the cage and then just pull down the backside and lifts them up, and then you can rotate it because it pivots out over the cauldron. So there's just essentially a long log with a bundle of rocks on the backside and a wooden cage on the front side. And this,
How does the fella look? Does he look scared or does he look defiant?
Yeah, you try and get a good look at this person, and he's standing, mounting one leg on one log on either side. There's not enough room below him to slip through it, but he's kind of standing on these logs, holding the bars of the cage before him, looking out over the rest of the crowd. And let's just give him a quick little morale check over here. See how he's doing with his imminent death. High is good, low is bad. He's not doing so great. He's over there.
Fair.
He's looking at the crowd. And he's calling out. He's calling out, "Please! I was set up! I was framed! Help! You gotta believe me!" I was hired. There's someone else. Come on, you gotta let me out of here. And, the crowd's just laughing and having a good time. And you can see, there's not much hope in this guy's face. But what is he going to do? Just sit there and accept his fate? So he's calling out in desperation.
What if we buy this guy?
Why would we do that? Just let the fucking guy die.
He broke into the keep. He's skilled.
It doesn't matter. There's a city full of thieves. We come from a city. Every other person can break into a keep. This is a fucking shitty old town. Anyone can climb over that wall. Let the guy boil.
How's that wall look, Neil?
You haven't even
it yet?
seen. You've seen
Okay.
part of the keep, but you haven't gotten to it yet. You just kind of came into the middle of town.
Yeah, but it's not going to be like the inner city wall, is it? Stromheim's full of thieves. Like, I don't see. Fuck this guy.
Also, he's in the cage suspended over a boiling geyser with, thousands, hundreds of people watching. How would you possibly free him?
I'll call it out
Exactly.
Is this guy for sale?
to whoever, is.
One of the nearby people who's
turn my collar
watching
on
with
my
his
coat
kid.
up and like turn away, so it's not to
Yeah.
be seen with him.
There's a youngish man, maybe in his like late 20s or something like that, and he's got his 5-year-old son up on his shoulders to watch the execution. And when you call out like, "Is that guy for sale?" the man with the kid shakes his head and turns towards you and goes like, "Nah. Hey, they're making an example of him. It's a fucking thief, man. They're ruining the world. Got to boil him alive. I mean, who the hell would want to buy a thief anyway? Couldn't trust the fucker."
I nod. It's good,
Neil,
I guess.
I don't know how much I would know about Cauldron, but like back in the day, would they have been executing people for just like thievery?
That's pretty extreme. In the olden days, they were soft. What is it? Lily-givered? They were soft people back
Lily-livered.
then. Lily-livered people. They wouldn't, maybe we shouldn't kill everyone. Oh, it might incite people to rebellion. Oh, an unhappy populace is, it's a mess. This is what we have dungeons for. You had all these clerics and this like large institutions that existed for long periods of time, and everything was fine. And you had surely you might execute
So they
someone
were-
for some theft, but like,
They were liberal cooks, basically. And now they're sort of badass, red-pilled, owning the libs by boiling thieves alive.
soft people make hard times, my friend.
They do love that saying, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really like Cauldron. They have the best executions. They've got really top people working here. This is the most fun I've had with an execution. Look at it. It's novel.
This is hard
Anyone-
for Pigeon
Anyone can
because he
cut a head off.
recognizes talent,
The motherfucker got caught. Where's the talent?
Yeah. But he got in.
He got in, maybe, but that's the easy part, isn't it? It's getting out. We know that, Pigeon. We know the hard part's getting out.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. How
So,
could it
I
be if
wait
he
for
got
them to-
captured?
Wait for them to turn this guy into soup.
Yeah, well, everyone's just waiting and watching because you don't really know when the geyser is going to go off. So you just
I
sit
elbow.
around and
Well, no, actually, I go up to the corner of the bleachers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I shout up to someone. And I say, "I'll give you 5 gold for your seats."
you say, "I'll give you 5 gold for your seats."
Yeah.
And you get not the person you shout out, but like an entire section of people who turn towards you and immediately begin to offer up their seats for the 5 gold.
Okay.
You have your
then I
pick of
wanna
the
get
litter.
I want to get the best seats, so then I get the
Well,
seats.
someone
for
offers
Pigeon.
4 gold. Hold on, you'll do it for 5. I'll do it for 4. I'll do it for 4.
Okay.
I'll do it for 4. 3, says someone who's like
Okay.
seated a little bit lower down,
I sell for 3. I sell for 3 gold.
Yeah, you guys get some mid-row seats for 3 gold.
Fuck yeah.
All
All right, we
and
got
as
a proper
you,
look at this guy now.
yeah, as you sit and watch, you can see other members of Steel Team 6 begin to like trickle in and take up spots to watch the execution in other places, as they come into the city after you.
It's important,
I get up
Right.
and I go up to a racer.
both narratively, like what you're doing to us, but also for the characters. It's important to know what's at risk here, Like,
I
if
go-
we fuck this up, this is what's at risk for us.
When I explain to a racer,
This guy, he got into the keep and he's really good and he probably knows his way around the keep a little bit.
Are you kidding?
We could, huh?
He got caught. He's a terrible thief. Why would we want to do anything with him? You don't You don't pick losers to join Steel Team 6. We only pick winners. This guy, fucking loser.
All right.
Did Pigeon decline my seat that I bought for him? Did he just leave and go and sit next to the racer?
I got up and went and talked to a racer real quick.
Yeah, he's going to come back with a hot dog. It'll be fine.
I'll be coming back now.
He better, okay.
Yeah, he comes back. I'm imagining with like a big old hot dog and a bag of popcorn or something.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll forgive him in that case.
Yeah.
I was mad at you, but give me that. I'll take the hot dog.
That's my hot dog.
Oh. I take a massive bite of half of it and then hand it back to him.
As everyone's just hanging out watching, you can hear, the crowd around you. People are taking bets on when it's going to go off. Is it going to get him in one big good blow? Because sometimes the geysers, they're a little unpredictable. He might be on the wrong side of the cage. He might actually survive the first blast and just be like mortally wounded up there until the next one. There's all sorts of like little side bets happening.
I imagine that next to us, like how you might go to the sports ball game and there might be like a dad with his son and they like, this is the thing that they do together and the son knows all the things about all the baseball players. I strike up a conversation with these guys, and I like to think that his 13-year-old son is obsessed with the executions, and he knows like all of the different ways that it can go, and he's like excitedly telling me like sometimes the guys doesn't come up and it just burns their feet off, and then they scream in agony for 10 minutes until it erupts again. So I hear all the lore about what could possibly, like because I don't like if I go to a baseball game, I don't understand baseball. I have to talk to someone to try and like where's the drama,
Right.
Like I need to how am I going to enjoy this? So that's what I want to get out of this. I want to know what the drama is, like how do I get into it, what am I looking out for?
Well, today's only the 19th day of the month, and this is the third execution this month. So it's been it's been a busy time. People are watching. And the little kid's got all the stats. Well, the other two, it was a pair of, it was two women. They worked together and they were stealing, but they were caught separately, one after the other. So we got an execution on the first Wednesday and then the second Thursday, and today's the third Friday. Yeah.
So if they caught them together, would they have put them in together at the same time?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes you get a double execution.
That's really good. They don't have anything like this where I'm from.
How do they kill people where you're from?
I don't know. No, they just like cut their heads off or something. We don't even see it though. You just hear about it. And sometimes they'll hang the bodies up, in the street. But where's the fun in that?
The kid nods. Yeah. We had some scaffolding in the town square that we used for executions until we got this repaired. Cutting off heads are pretty good. I like how the blood spurts pretty far. I won a couple copper, guessing how far it would go. I got hit in the face with it. The kid says excitedly.
I would have liked to play that when I was like, you know what? You're a lucky kid living here. You're a good dad. I say to the fella. You're a good dad.
The dad is like watching the thing, letting his son have this like interaction with a stranger, kind of keeping an eye, but also being like, you got to learn the ways of the world, kid. You got to talk to strangers sometimes. Share your information.
Absolutely. What could be more natural than talking to a stranger at an execution?
Yeah, I mean,
there's nothing more natural than that.
It is the game show of the era. And this is not just, Neil's an asshole and likes to see things suffer. Executions were a form of public entertainment for thousands of years.
And I'm not being ironic. Like, I think Luther is genuinely like, this is good fun. Like, this is entertainment. This is kind of shit we just don't get back home.
Yeah.
I was talking to Fran about this. Like, if they brought back gladiatorial combat, people would watch the shit out of that. That would be the most watched thing on Netflix if there was like Logan Paul versus a lion and he potentially just gets his throat ripped out. Like, I would watch that.
If you had death sentences broadcast on television, people would watch the shit out of that. Especially if you were feeding them to lions or something like that. If it was...
Yeah, we all want to see that shit.
Yeah, we're not...
Big time.
Okay, good. Well, I settle in, I asked the kids, so, what's your name? I say to the dad.
My name?
Yeah. You
I'm
live
Luke.
here long. Luke? Yeah, you from here, Luke?
I'm from here now, but not originally.
Where you from originally?
Copper Hill. Born and raised back before,
Oh, yeah, I've got a few we're from we're from up north as well, so I know a few guys from Copper Hill.
Sound like you're from Stromheim.
Yeah. Originally.
Yeah. I was there the day the town inn exploded. Wait, no, he's in his early 20s. He can't have been there. He's not alive for that. Left Copper Hill right after everything went to hell and made my way to Stromheim for a few years. And now I got this little kiddo, and here we are in Cauldron.
Yeah, I have to say, I've been looking around, and this is a nice town here.
Oh, thank you. You know, I built that cage that guy's in.
You built that?
That was my job. Got hired
How does
for
it
it.
work?
Well,
You're
you see, it's a
goddamn
cage.
genius. An artist, in fact. Look, just the right distance where he thinks he can get out, but he can't. It really augments the torment. Real great work. Do you know what I say to the kid? You're really lucky to have a dad like that.
Real problem is that you want to make sure that they can't slip out between the floorboards. Because if they're a little bit too thin, or if their time in jail thins them out, and then as he's explaining this, the cauldron just goes off, sending a jet of boiling water into the air, which roasts the guy. And like as the water begins to, it blasts up, it hits the guy full all over the body, completely engulfed, the whole cage engulfed in a column of boiling water. It raises for good 15 seconds. And when it falls away, the man is like on the ground, his head and one arm are between the one set of bars, a leg is dangling from a different set of bars. And you can't tell, is he still alive? Is he moving, or is that just the effect of like everything being hit by water? And so it's on like a lever, right? So it just kind of bobs up and down and moves back to side. No one can quite tell if the guy's dead or alive. Like, is he just... Did he go?
The crowd goes quiet, waiting for a noise. Is his skin like melting?
Yeah, well, yeah. You ever seen like really nasty sunburns or like, someone who dipped their hand in boiling water and kind of like, it's not like dripping off of you in big gobs, but it's just like tattered all around the edges. And the crowd does begin, after the cheers, everyone gets a little quiet. And then someone comes up to where the base is, and they start to rotate the cage. So the whole thing like slides out, and they lower it onto the ground. Someone opens the door, comes over and just like pokes him with a stick a couple of times, comes up real close, touches him on the neck, and then he gets raises a thumbs up to the crowd, which immediately erupts again in cheer.
Does that mean he's still alive?
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah.
No, he's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. High five. I high five, Pigeon. That was fucking sick.
Yeah, it was
God
pretty
damn.
sick.
All right, well,
let's go do what we got to do now.
nice to meet you, Luke. You stay safe now, you here?
He sits in the bleachers with his kid.
How does it lock, Luke?
Oh, well, the lock's not that complicated. It's actually just a little bit of rope that you tie around, and then you hammer it into place with a little a wooden wedge. That way no one can untie it. It's a real simple mechanism. You see, you want the whole thing to be able to survive boiling water, and so large logs and rope is actually a good way to go for it. You could use iron or copper or brass, but like, why bother making something expensive when you can make it cheap?
I give him a gold for his info.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Say, out-of-towners, do you need anything? I hear you bought those seats, and you seem to have a little bit of money.
To stay?
No,
Sure.
We're going to stay at the inn. We're going to stay at the inn.
Oh, come on.
No, well, we don't want to intrude. But, Luke, if you want to come to the pub for some food tonight.
So you
sit with us.
make
We'll get
cages,
you
huh?
dinner.
Well, among many things, I'm a woodwright.
Luther, the skeleton pit.
Wait a minute. My eyes go wide. I turn back around. Actually, yeah, you should come for dinner with us tonight. We want to talk to you about your work.
All right.
That's
well,
great.
there's a nice little inn, a little restaurant, a little side place just down to the street from the flop house. It's called Paula's Pie Palace.
Paula's Pie. Oh, that's great. I love a pie.
Yeah. It's some Dracissian chain, they call it. They got a couple of pie palaces over in Drekis.
Oh no,
they're coming over here.
chains?
Oh, it's
that's
Dracissian food.
disgusting.
Oh, no, it's like them opening McDonald's in Paris.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Awful.
I hate that, but we'll go.
We should
No,
try.
it's really good actually. It's you don't get pies like that out here. It's some Drakissian trait, something that they, I had never had anything like it. And you pop out. They got some like 3-legged stools out in front in the street. You just sit at the bar out in the street, get your little pie, nom
They're
it
winning
down.
the culture war.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That's
see.
terrible.
We'll see that. And hey, Luke, we had a look at the flop house. It's kind of like, I'm not sure it's my kind of place. Is there a inn for a more discerning gentleman? I'm not not too fancy, but.
Yeah.
Gem merchants.
Yeah, well, there's a nicer place around for the more distinguished and discerning gentlemen and ladies of the area. But the prices can be, that can be pretty high. You'll be paying out gold a night at least to live, stay there.
Oh, is that
That's
it?
before food and drink and turn down service, and you know how it goes. No one can
Well,
ever
I'll
just
tell
give
you
you
what.
a straight up price.
Yeah, that's how the world is these days. We'll go and check it out. Thanks, Luke. We'll see what it's like.
All right, I'll
What's it
see you at
called?
Paula's Pie Palace, right?
That's it. Yeah, I'll see you then.
The nice place.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking name.
It's called.
It's called Faraday's Faraway.
All right.
Nice.
We go
Cool.
there.
Okay,
good
we get to
name.
Faraday's far away. Yeah.
No
I like that name.
tavern brawls.
No tavern brawls.
No. We're past that.
It's only just us. I assume that we're not going to be in the same inn as the others, so
Lemon might be here, which would be good.
perhaps
yeah.
Lemon's here.
Yeah, you
We won't know
arrive,
her.
and sure enough, Lemon's here, Sierra's here, Eraser's here.
Everyone's here.
No, the other
That's
two, Goat and
Percival.
Percival, they're not here. Yeah, they
Of course
went to
Percival
the.
wouldn't fucking come here.
Yeah.
He's such a tight ass.
Yeah.
You need
okay.
to steal his identity.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Eraser, Sierra, and Lemon together.
Eraser and Sierra are together.
And Lemon's
Lemon
alright.
is standing at the corner of the bar by herself.
Nick.
Still in her sort of like dirty I've been traveling clothes, looking a little bit run down, not quite fully put up together. Like she's, she needed to get a drink before she put herself
That's
together.
fair.
If he
Yeah.
comes in, we got to start a bar fight with Eraser.
What did we just say?
I know.
Yeah, but listen, Luther. If he comes in, we start a bar fight with a racer, and then that guy will go and protect Lemon.
You mean the Lord?
Yeah.
Wow, we're just as likely to find ourselves in that fucking cage, aren't we?
Oh, okay. All right. We'll let Lemon handle it then. I mean, it's her
Yeah.
job.
That's our job, yeah. If there's one thing that woman knows how to do, it's to get a dick hard. So I'd say we just let her do it.
All right.
Sorry, that was maybe slightly uncouth.
It's hardly
Hello,
heroes.
good sir. Could we get a room for two? My lord.
The purveyor. Well, my little D6 over here. An elderly gentleman with a short white beard, white hair that, comes down a little bit on the sides, long on the sides, but like very non-existent on the top. Looks over to you and goes, "Oh, of course, good sir. Are you here for the execution? I hear it was marvelous."
Oh, yes, he doth died already.
That's what everyone's saying. Now, you said a room for two. Is your wife joining you?
I kind of look back at Luther.
Oh, your husband. My apologies. Of course, we'll get you a
I give him a
room.
wide smile.
I know.
Now, it's the one room, one bed. That'll be 2 gold a night, sir.
Oh, I asked someone in town. They said it was 1 gold a night. Are you ripping me off?
No, of course not. It's just that surge pricing. Everyone's in town. Not a lot of beds available. Competitive pricing being what it is, it's gone up, I'm afraid.
All right,
come
we
at
pay.
Okay.
Do I have to take this off my?
No,
price
this is
sheet, or
regular
this
expenses.
Yeah, we'll pay
Yeah.
it. We'll pay it.
Yeah.
Is it not possible to get a twin room?
Oh no,
say
I
it's a
did. I
pigeon.
didn't.
No, he's
As
only
we
got
get
this
into-
one. Surge pricing and all he was telling me.
All right, well,
You'll get the floor.
sorry?
You get the floor. I'll get the bed.
How do you come to that conclusion? I'm old. My back. You know that my back's been playing up. I need...
All right, you know what? You can have it. I'll probably find a lady in here to chill with tonight anyways.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you can look out across the room here, and this place, it's definitely the nicer of the places in town. It's definitely not the flop house. You can see folks that remind you of yourself. Folks who probably came from nothing but have like nice clothes on. But also in that like over the top way, like Django from Django Unchained, where like you get to pick your clothes and you pick the most ridiculous fucking outfit.
Yeah.
A lot of these way over the top, big poofy shoulders, big hats with feathers in them, bright colors, and then like rough accents all the way around.
Nice.
And then there's a few folks like off on a far side on a slightly elevated platform behind some pillars with some curtains that like drape so you can still see but give like the feng shui feeling of being slightly off to the side, are some people who probably were born into their money. Their dress is made of finer materials, but is maybe a little less over the top, a little bit sleeker, a little bit nicer of a cut. Yeah.
I don't suppose there's any adventurers here. Is there an obvious party of a fighter, a priest, a wizard, and a rogue?
And you look around, you see a lot of weapons, a lot of rapiers, a lot of short swords on folks around here. You don't see anyone that screams, "I'm a wizard," right? There's no like blue robes and pointy hats. You don't see anyone. I mean, there's one person that could be a cleric, or maybe they're just like, they just love wearing loops of Martha around their neck, which is popular.
We sit down, I'll read lips.
Okay, yeah. We sit down. I think we, we probably already got cleaned up in the room, so
yeah.
I think we're just chilling until we go to the Pie Palace to meet Luke.
How many lip reading checks you want?
Let's just say one per 20 minutes of like finding good targets.
31.
Wow. Yeah. So the first lip reading check happens when you see Lemon. She finally gets her drink, and she immediately walks up to a group of 3 people who are sitting at a table. Some of these armed folks I was talking about. And she like tries to speak to them and then like holds her throat a little bit. And so they all have to like lean in real close while she begins to whisper to them. Some heads are nodding in exchange. She pulls out a few gold coins and sets them on the table. They scoop the coins up, pound their drinks, get up, and follow her out the tavern. But with your lip reading, you can see both Lemon and the other guy's side of the conversation with her like, excuse me, I've lost my voice earlier today shouting at the crowd. I'm new in town for just a couple of days, and I could really use some extra protection. Do you lovely young boys think that you could play bodyguard to me for the next few days? I want to make sure that I'm not disrupted. A woman of my stature, out here alone, it could be very dangerous for me, and boy, I could just use some strong men to help keep things safe. And they're like, oh, absolutely. But, top level mercenaries like us, we don't go for cheap. And she's like, oh, I've got this. 2 gold a day. How's that? And they accept the price. And she puts the money down. And then she'll say like, okay, the first things first, I need to go to the bathhouse, clean myself up.
She's smart.
Could you keep an eye out for everything and perhaps regale me with some of your fine stories? Because my voice, I can't speak very much anymore. It's really getting sore. So why don't you tell me what's going on while I get cleaned up? And they just seem super eager for the high rate of pay. And then also, it's Lemon. Who doesn't like lemon?
Yeah. That is, so I think when Pigeon explains this to Luther, it's challenging some of my misogynistic beliefs. Maybe Lemon's smarter than we gave her credit
Lemon's
for.
kind of smart.
Yeah.
She's got that charm about her.
All right.
Wait. Before you move on, when Pigeon says that, I have a realization, and I sort of like put my hand on your wrist and I say, I don't know how drunk you're gonna get tonight, but I know you're used to being with her, but don't forget yourself and just walk over to her all familiar like when you've had a few drinks, all right?
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know any of these people.
Yeah, exactly. All right, cool.
I'll go on to the next group of adventurers.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking low.
They're talking, but people are moving in between them a little bit too much.
Yeah.
You can kind of catch what one person's saying, but it's not enough to inform a conversation.
Is there like one more group or no?
Yeah, there's another group.
I'll toss to the other group.
Oof.
Wow, you've got really high perception. I think that this tavern, it's a little bit full, and there's enough turning and moving that you can never really catch a proper conversation.
We'll cut it there.
So
Too
this is
busy in the tavern.
an inn and a tavern, Neil, yeah?
It is an inn that has a common room that's like a pub. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Good. All right. Yeah, well, we spend the afternoon here. There's not really too much for us to do, right?
Nope.
Like,
No.
we're
Unless
kinda
we want to
just
go and
observing
check
Lemon.
out how hard it, like if we want to go and scope out the castle or whatever it is, the
Yeah.
fort, we should probably do that soon.
I think we can decide to do that tomorrow when we speak to everyone at the market. We can split up and get jobs, yeah.
Yeah.
But for tonight, we just we chill until it's time to go for dinner with Luke, and then we can role play that. I don't have loads to say to him, but a little bit.
Yeah, I
Well-
mean, we probably just want him to come down in a few months to come check out our place and maybe make a contraption like this.
Yeah, just to clarify, we need him it's not that we need him to make the pit. We need him to make a skeleton capturing device.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll require some careful woodmanship.
Were you going to talk to him today or tomorrow?
No,
Tonight?
we're going for dinner tonight. Yeah.
Let's just skip right on to that then. You have a couple of drinks, you settle in, get the lay of the land, kind of see where all the people with a little bit of money hang out. Things are pricey here. It's like a silver and a half for a beer. Outrageous, but they've got it here. They've got it.
Could you even pay that in the outer city, in Stromheim?
What
A
do you mean?
silver and a half for a beer. Like, is there anywhere that would charge that in Stromheim?
Oh, maybe. Probably. Somewhere they will charge that price.
In
but
the outer city?
in the outer city, there's probably
yeah,
a spot
okay.
that'll do that.
Okay.
Maybe the Grimy Gremlins nearing those prices.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, yeah, no, we enjoy it. I mean, it seems like it's we've got a table and everything, so nice, cozy afternoon. Nice
Sure.
to be on holiday, Like we're on holiday right now. We're in a fancy hotel. We've traveled a little bit. We're making new friends.
Well, that evening, you can go out and meet up with Luke down at Paula's
Yeah.
Pie Palace. Night in Cauldron is quite a bit different than the day. By the time everyone goes home, the rest of the town, with like the ruins and some rubble still around, and the people who are out in the streets in the night give you this sketchy vibe. The daytime seemed busy. The nighttime seems
It's interesting.
seedy. You know.
Armor's on then.
So you like get out into the street and you're like, no, and you go back in. You put on your
Yeah.
armor and your weapons.
When you say seedy, people are walking around armed. There's
The
no
first
guards
couple
on
of
the
folks that you
streets.
see when you step out of the tavern are some beggars, and they don't look armed. But then you start to walk down the main avenue, and you can see a group of 4 people in armor with swords who like exit one building, walk down 100 yards, and then head into another building. And I think that's the point where Pigeon's like, "Fuck
Yeah.
that shit! I'm getting my armor."
Yeah, okay. We don't get our armor because that's like proper armor you're talking about, or are they just in like leather?
Like leather armor.
They're,
Yeah.
they're wearing leather.
Okay.
I'm putting on
So,
my
yeah,
full leather.
We get tooled up, yeah.
Sure. You head down and find Paula's Pie Palace. And they're open late. And sure enough, they got pies. And there's like a little, it's just on the street. You're sitting on stools on the street facing inward where there's a big bar and where they're putting all the pies. And there's a couple of ovens back there. And so this is maybe a more lively little section out here at night. There's
Are people armed in here?
There's a couple folks sitting on the stools that have weapons, but for
Okay.
the most part, they're just, it's just people hanging out.
When we see Luke, I'd like to know whether he's armed.
Yeah, Luke will hurry up to you guys. He's not armed. He's one of the
Okay.
plenty of folks who aren't. And he'll
Luke.
sit down.
Come sit
Oh,
down.
gentlemen, good to have you. Left the kiddo behind, nap time and all.
Getting late. Yeah. Can I get you a drink, some food?
Absolutely. I recommend the pork belly pie. That's the best.
Pigeon, you want that?
I'll have the pork belly pie.
Alright.
Yeah.
I go up to the counter to get 3 pies and 3
Uh,
beers.
Fat woman named
Or a
Paula
pitcher.
takes your orders. you doubt that's her real name. If this is a chain, they can't just find people named Paula to run it, right? It's got to be a pseudonym.
Yeah. Does she have a Drakissian accent?
No, Eridonian.
I'm disappointed in her, but I don't say anything.
Yeah.
I bring over the picture and then I go back for the pies, which I assume she puts on a tray.
Yeah, you just sit at the counter and they just bring you stuff. It's like eating at a sushi bar, like at the bar. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, cheers, Luke.
Cheers. So, tell me, what are you boys in town for?
Well, to be honest, we just wanted a bit of luxury, get out of the city, stay somewhere nice. To be honest, I don't really go around shouting about it, but since the kid already told you, we're gem merchants. We did live in the city for a while, but money's drying up there. There's a lot of money down here now, so we're scouting out, maybe looking for a new place to lay down roots.
All right. Well, welcome to Cauldron. It's a nice spot.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Yep. Land's cheap, rent's cheap.
My name's Luther. This is my nephew Pigeon. Nice to meet you, Luke.
Nice to meet you.
Hello. I mean, we met already.
Yeah. Well, proper introduction's a little different.
So, are you into politics, Luke? You seem to know a lot about this Shacklebrook fella.
Well, when you work for the new Baron, well, soon to be Baron, you get into politics, but it wouldn't help my business if I talked about anything I saw, But I do see a few things.
Well, the thing is, Luke, if we're gonna move here, it's nice to know what the political situation is like, Like,
well, I'd be happy to give you a broad characterization as long as I don't have to signal any of my secrets.
Absolutely. Keep your secrets to yourself.
Yeah. He dusts himself off as if he's like a hot deal in town.
Yeah. So, Shacklebrook, what's he like? Clearly, he's fixing up the entertainment in the town, which is a nice feature. You'll notice Pigeon and I are wearing our armor because it's a bit scary around here at night.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit dodgy. Well, why do you think we're executing people in the Cauldron? Gotta send a message that sort of stuff ain't gonna be tolerated. Now, personally, I think if you could put a couple of petty thieves in there, you'd do a hell of a lot better than if you were just boiling the people who are stealing from the soon-to-be Baron. His soon-to-be lordship.
I mean, the queen or the empress has made him lord for a reason. We got to trust his judgment. He obviously knows what he's doing. I heard he's a wizard. Is that right?
It is. Yes, sir. I've even seen him work magic myself.
You have you? Rare to see a wizard. Or rarer still to see one cast a spell.
What type of magic?
Was in the town square last month. We were holding sort of just a gathering, just updating the people of all the big news, like you do in small towns. Here's what's happening. Here's where the administration's headed. These are our thoughts. These are the things that we're working on. This is what we want you to do, that sort of thing. And the new lord, soon to be lord, said, I also want to address the rumors that I'm a wizard. They're absolutely true. And then he had a little, like a scarecrow. They got a scarecrow on a stake, pounded the stake into the ground real quick. Lord came up to it, brought his hands out. His robes fell down, his long sleeves fell down to his elbows, raised his hands above his head and brought them forward, and just a huge gout of flame erupted straight from his hands, set the scarecrow on fire. Then he stepped back and the whole thing just burned. Then we got to go up it at the end and take a look at it, see that it was real, that it wasn't some sort of illusion or lie. And I talked to the guy who made the scarecrow. He made earlier that day, real thing, not fake, not flash powder or nothing like that. No little smoke and mirrors trick, true, honest to God magic.
No, well, you don't see that every day. Well, you're really lucky down in Cauldron to have a guy like that in charge.
Well,
let's get another drink. I get another drink. I want to, drink relatively liberally. with this guy. I think if that was our first pint, during the second pint, I'm going to explain to him about the skeleton pit and say, okay, Luke, you know, I know that it sounds like you got a lot of work going on in Cauldron, you know, rebuilding things. I'm sure a man with your skills is busy down here. But I've got a contraption in mind, and it's a very specific thing. And to be honest, I'm not an engineer.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not a woodworker.
Yeah.
And it's increasingly difficult to find somebody with them skills in the city. So I was wondering, you know, do you think over the next kind of 3 to 6 months you might have capacity to work on a project for me? Probably something a little bit similar to what we were looking at today. You know, not exactly the same thing, but let's say a wooden structure to contain a bipedal humanoid kind of creature, you know, like a man or an orc, something like that, you know, keep them state, and then possibly with like wheels on it as well, so they could be moved around quite easily.
You need like a prison cart.
Like a prison cart, yeah, but one that could be secretive, you know, like we might have to move it through the streets. We don't want to draw too much attention.
How
Maybe
much comfort do you need the person in prison to be in?
None.
Yeah, it's a secondary concern, potentially tertiary concern. Yeah, I mean, these guys, most of them bony asses anyway, so like they're not gonna.
And you want to move them secretly in a cage.
You understand? It's nothing underhand, Luke. It's just.
I mean, moving people secretly in cages sounds extremely underhanded. Not that I'm judging or anything. You know, I just want to be clear on what's happening here, so I can design the best thing for your use.
Yeah. You know, things have changed in Stromheim. There isn't the same kind of legal structure that there once was. So, successful businessmen, I find that we kind of have to take the law into our own hands a little bit.
All right, so this isn't to transport yourselves. This is to transport a troublesome third party.
A ne'er-do-well. Correct.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, it's 3 to 6 months' time. You know, I've got availability that far out. No problem. You just gotta, you know, let me know the requirements, how big of a person, any specific loading issues that you need. Because, you know, building a cage and then putting it onto a cart is different than building a cart with a cage. Cart with a cage is really nice, but then you gotta like move them from the captured cage to the cart on the cage, and you gotta like get them from one door to the other, which you can do with spears and, you know, pokey sticks.
Let me stop you there, Luke. I appreciate that. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find someone who can draw up the plans for me. You know, someone smart who understands engineering and putting this kind of thing together.
Oh,
I'll
you're
get them to
doing me
draw
a
it up.
disservice. I could do that.
Really?
Well, I mean, I would. I would contract out the wheel making and some of the cart work to somebody else, but I'm a capable man. You see that cage that I built? It's perfect. And that was done on short notice.
Some of these ne'er-do-wells can be quite strong, you know, and the journey can be quite far. It needs to be secure. You know what I mean? It needs to be real secure. So I'm just saying that like a proper engineer, maybe they do the calculations, you know, the mathematics, make sure it's as rigid as it can be. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Well,
maybe
I mean, unless you're moving Hercules himself, a good wooden cage will hold pretty much anybody. Like, you would be surprised at the strength of good solid boards if you do it right.
Okay. Well, what I'll do then, if you said you've got availability in the next 3 to 6 months, I've got to sort some other things out.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll come down here and we can talk about it. Have you got like a shop or something?
I just work out of my
contact
house. I can give you directions to it if you need.
Yeah.
Feel free to stop by anytime.
Absolutely, Luke. Well, now that business is out the way, let's get another drink.
Yeah. I'm just quarter mile out of town on the North Road. Little shop right there. You'll notice the big pile of wood chips and sawdust out front.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Great. I'll take a note of that. I go back to I flag the guy over and ask for another pitcher of beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Paula comes back, gives you another pitcher of beer.
So,
sounds like you've handled it.
Yeah, but there's one other thing, you know. You know Shacklebrook, right? Or at least a little bit.
I've met with the up-and-coming lord multiple times myself.
If I was gonna move our shop here, I would be looking for, let's say, favorable treatment with regards to taxation. You know, we'd be bringing in a lot of money for the town. You know, we'd be employing bodyguards and shopkeepers. You know, it would be good for the town. And I was wondering, I'm not saying I want you to introduce us or anything like that. It might be a step too far, but I don't suppose you know where Shackleton tends to like drink of an evening. You know, where he hangs out. Maybe where someone like myself could run into him, kind of all natural, like, you know.
Oh, I see. Well, he doesn't come out into town all that often. You know, wizarding, lording it up and whatnot. They say the nobles and the commoners shouldn't intermingle too much. That said, there ain't a lot going on in this town yet, and one of the few places of entertainment tends to get visited by a lot of folks. So there's two real spots where you might run into Lord Shackleton. Shacklebrook. The first is, I wrote it down and then I fucking changed the page. You gotta write things down on the page you're looking at. Faraday's far away. Every now and then they'll host a dance. They'll clear out all the tables and they'll put together a big ball. It's invite only though, so I don't know. You might need to talk to someone to get a proper invite to that. But they'll hold a dance there. He'll attend. All the people worth anything attend.
All right.
The other big thing is the public executions. He was there today with everyone else. So those are the spots where you can reliably run into him. Other than that, you might just have to catch him in the road sometime. He's just going around doing stuff. He's always taking meetings, visiting sites. He's quite the engineer himself. If you need someone to design something, I bet Lord Wilhelm Shackleton could handle that no problem.
Oh no, I'm sure he's far too busy for something so lowly as that.
Well, I don't think he works for anyone else either.
Yeah. Doesn't need the money, I bet.
Right.
Well, I appreciate that. It's really useful information. We're staying at the far away, so maybe we can wrangle ourselves an invite to the next dance. You know when the next one is?
I don't. The owner, not the bartender, the owner would know all of these things.
All right, I'll bring it up with him. Let's get another drink, and I think we can drink a little bit with Luke, and then
Go back.
I think we'll walk him home because it's fucking sketchy out there.
Yeah,
Go
you can
back
walk
to
him
that.
home. As soon as you leave the shining warmth and light of Paula's Pie Palace and step back out into the streets, you're instantly sort of back in the sketchy nature of town. The sounds of people eating and drinking and having a good time fade abruptly. And then it's just sort of like a kind of cold evening walking down this gravelly road that crunches with every step that anyone takes on it, and like weird things move in the shadows. A lot of dogs barking in the distance, and then sometimes they start barking near you and then they stop again. It's just got this you get the vibe that there's a lot of long shadows.
You think we'd be comfortable here because it's like pretty much like this in Stromheim, but I think there's when you're inside all the, you're in the tight streets of a city and there's always people around. It's a bit of a different vibe to being, kind of out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's like a physical night and day difference. Like during the daytime, this seemed to be fine. You saw people in armor, but the tone of the environment was like everyone just going about their business. And as you walk past a couple people in the street here in the evening, the tone is very much like, who the fuck are you? If you're walking down the road, people cross to the other side, so you cross separately, and they kind of watch you, and hands are often in pockets, because it's kind of cold, but also there's probably daggers in pockets, So there's this deeply untrusting environment after dark here. You will, it's important to note, see a couple of local guards. There are 3 of them on horseback. They wear chainmail and they have arming swords at their sides.
Oh shit, chainmail. So they sound badass.
Yeah, they don't look like your standard everyday man-at-arms. These look like professional warriors or soldiers of some kind. And maybe this isn't like maybe there's a normal town guard and you're just happening to see the more elite squad within it. But you do pass 3 armed guards with long swords and arming swords and chainmail on horseback.
Are they? Do they have like lanterns as well? Or light stones, maybe.
The lead person does carry a lantern on a stick.
Are they talking to each other at all?
No, they're just kind of slowly trotting down the main street, the north road that runs through town.
Okay.
They look at you as you walk by, and the person in the front will dip their head towards you, and the person behind him will keep an eye on you, while the person behind him is watching somebody else on the other side of the street.
Yeah.
Just keep it moving.
Okay. I actually feel better for this. To have the guards around.
Well, you deliver Luke Cage to his house, and
Luke Cage, is that his name?
well, he makes cages. You know, people are named
Yeah.
after what they do.
True.
I guess it could be Luke Cage Maker. That's just
And then, and then we head back to Faraday's Faraway for a nightcap.
Such a nicer environment. Once you get into Faraday's Faraway, even though the door's not locked, it's warm, it's cozy, you know, it's got this relaxing vibe. There's a big fire going on.
Is there like a doorman?
At this hour of night, there is a doorman, but it's cold outside, so he stands inside and he like checks people as they come in and whatnot. And he does carry a flanged mace on his side, just in case anyone wants to start any trouble.
All right. This guy's probably really, really hard.
Yep. All right.
So, we have a nightcap and then call it a night.
Okay. Have a nightcap, call it a night. Wake up the next day, head into the market to meet the rest of your friends.
We good for a quick break here?
Absolutely.
All right.
Be right back.
Be right back.
So, we're meeting up at the party the next day in town.
Yeah. In the market.
In the
Hustle
market.
and bustle. Hiding in plain sight, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Now, the market, it's great for Cauldron. But when you think about what it's like in Stromheim and the big markets there at like, you know, the intersections of the main roads, this is sad, right? This is like, there are people selling their fresh produce, but the variety is minimal. And there's like some services. There's like one little person with a little overhang standing near a building that's got like a messenger service, but like, it's the one messenger. He's the whole business. It's not like a shop with scribes who can send messengers wherever you want. It's like, you know, little Jimmy the messenger, and that's the whole business. So as you look
craftsmanship,
around, probably like there's not a lot being offered here for sale, and what you do see is, you know, maybe a little bit more boutique, maybe a little bit more local customs. I'm trying to use like euphemisms for, you know.
But the important thing is, are you saying that it's not busy enough to hide in plain sight, so to speak? And this might actually be the worst place to have this meeting.
No, there's probably 100 people in the market right now, all told, between shopkeepers and patrons.
Okay.
And the whole thing is maybe, you know, like 150 feet by 150 feet. So it's not a huge area. And there's a bunch of bodies in it, but, you know, it's kind of, it's quaint.
What I was envisioning is like, you know, we all go to one stall and kind of like, whilst looking through the items, are like whispering to each other. And then, you know, we split up and then we meet back at the vegetable store and we're looking at apples and like having another chat and kind of like trying to conceal it. But if there's not enough stores and not enough people to do that, maybe there's like, is there like a cafe or something where they're selling tea where we could sit for a bit and maybe just all chat to each other there?
Yeah, Paula's Pie Palace is just outside of the market area. and they're. What do you call it?
I don't like these Drakissian chains coming in. I want to burn this place down. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that shit.
No. I say no to this. We
They
just we are
probably
here.
fucking took a nice local Eridonian place and put this shit here. And everybody's seen it up.
There was probably nothing here before. Listen. I understand Drakissians. You know they're scumbags, but
We gotta
we're here
stop
for
this,
a reason.
Nick.
We don't want to raise the alarm. You know, we don't want to draw any attention to ourselves. Let's just chill. We do this right. We're walking out of here with 10 G's, bro. 10 G's, okay? Keep it cool.
I'll tell you, if they come to Stromheim, I'm burning it down.
Okay, yeah. Do you know what? If they come to Stromheim, I'll help you do it.
All right.
There
It's definitely
is.
Neil's making a note. There's going to be a Paula's Pie Palace in Stromheim in no time.
You can find the same person who sold you your hot dog and popcorn has hot dog, popcorn, and dandelion tea for sale at like a little thatched hut is too strong of a word. It's 4 poles with a thatched roof just to kind of keep the sun off.
Okay, well, I go and get a mug of dandelion tea. So I'm drinking hot dog tea. What the fuck is that? That is something that only an American
No.
brain could
It's
conceive of.
dandelion tea and they sell hot dogs and popcorn.
Oh. Thank God. Okay.
Yeah,
You never
no.
know.
Hot
Who
dog
knows?
tea sounds
You
like
guys.
the worst piece of shit in the entire world.
It's pretty easy to make. You get a tin of hot dogs. You take the hot dogs out. You put the water into a pot. You heat that shit up.
No.
You got hot dog tea.
I'll ask him.
Could you make my tea with the hot dog water?
Very funny, kid. Very funny.
I'll pay you silver.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'll take your money, but you're gonna puke. And he, dips a hot dog in some tea for a little while, takes your silver, and then says, takes the hot dog out, puts it in a bun, hands you the hot dog, hands you the dandelion tea that was had a hot dog soaking in it.
I'm gonna put forth a charisma check here to try and convince this guy that this was a delicacy, Neil.
Yeah.
I want him to, like, when I walk away, I want him to be like, you know what? Let me try that.
My God, you fucking nail it. It's a natural 19, modified 26. You have your tea. You're like, oh, this is great. This is amazing. And as you walk away, you like throw a look over your shoulder and you see him like, what the fuck? And he just like takes a hot dog and he puts it in a cup of tea and you can like walk around somewhere else. And then a few moments later, he takes it out and he goes to he spits it out all over the place and goes, what?
It was worth it. Okay, so yeah, we go over here and get our tea, and then I think we kind of wait for the others to also gather around us slowly until we're all standing around drinking tea, and then we can have a conversation.
Yeah, Lemon's the first to arrive with her 3 bodyguards. She comes up and tells them, would you get some things for yourself? I'm not quite hungry right now, but would you get me a tea, please? And then 2 of them stand by her while the other one goes off. And one of them gives the 2 of you like a dirty look, like, this is the woman I'm protecting, stay the fuck away.
We got a badass over here.
And then, Lemon walks vaguely in your direction, drops the handkerchief in her hand, like right in front of Luke.
Pigeon. Oh,
Luther.
Pigeon.
Luther. I'm trying to say Luther, but I'm pulling a parent and just getting everyone else's name.
Why do they do that? All right, I bend down and pick up the handkerchief and go, I think you dropped this, Mom.
Oh, my stars. Thank you. My name is Lemon. Who are you, sir?
Say, I tell you, I didn't realize they made the girls this beautiful down in Cauldron. Maybe I'll move here after all. My name's Luther.
Luther, it's a pleasure to meet you. These 2 are my bodyguards, Bodyguard A and Bodyguard B. Bodyguard C is over there right now. Gentlemen, she says to her bodyguards, these 2 chaps look quite lovely, and you've been working so very hard. Gentlemen, would you mind protecting my honor while I let my bodyguards do some shopping in the day? She says to you.
Of course.
Sure.
She looks back
Take
to
a load
Bodyguard
off.
A and B.
Go and get yourself a pie. The Pie Palace over there, absolutely delicious. Try the pork belly.
As they said. Now, you do keep an eye on me from time to time so that these ruffians don't take me for everything that I'm worth. But go on, enjoy yourself. I think it's safe enough for now. And they
You should
all,
be so lucky. I
This
give
is
her a
good.
wink.
We can give her the unlock about the dance, the party.
Yeah.
They gave her some nods. Bodyguard C comes by, gives her tea. He wanders off to the three of them, head into the market to do some shopping.
I cast a glance in the tea for remnants of hot dog.
None.
Okay, good.
Soon, the rest of the party joins. Goat, Percival, Sierra, and everyone's favorite, Eraser.
So I think I don't like, we don't circle around and all talk to each other. You know, I think we're still in like pairs, but we're kind of talking to each other kind of nondescriptly.
It's just there's just some benches right next to each other that are all in the shade. And so you all come in your pairs, but there's not that much seating here. And Lemon, she starts talking to Sierra about his fashion. It's very easy to bring him into the conversation. He showed up with Eraser. And then when Percival and Goat show up, she goes and like makes a show about like, oh, Goat, you're so cute. There was a halfling servant where I was from. And she finds a way to sort of, chat up everybody casually. Leaving you with the
Glances
there.
around the crew. Everyone's impressed by, sorry to talk over you,
Oh,
but
no,
everyone's
you're good.
impressed by Lemon's sort of blooming into a proper spy here.
When
not
she's
Percival and not Sierra, but the others are.
Oh, okay.
when she's doing the thing with Goat, I'll work in.
Oh wow, what a nice body you got. You'd be a great dancer. They're doing a dance sometime soon at Faraday's Farewell.
You don't say. A dance? Well, I do love to move. What could you tell me about it?
Well, all the cool people are gonna be there. Anybody who's anybody in the town would be there at that dance. But I don't have an invite. I just heard about it. You'd have
Wow.
to get invited, I think.
You said at Faraday's, far away?
I nod.
Perhaps I'll have to go give that place a visit.
Perhaps.
Leave it there.
Okay. What would you guys like to discuss with the party in a slow, surreptitious way so you're not attracting too much attention?
I say to Eraser, sorry, you can do this if you
No,
want.
you're
But
100% good.
basically, we need to find a place that we can go and store the guy and keep things, that we can go and sort of shit him up a little bit once the deed is done. We need
'Cause
to
if
find
it's at-
somewhere.
If it's at Faraday's, let's say they're dancing there, right? Well, we got to get him out of there. We got to take him to a second location.
Yeah, maybe he invites Lemon back to his place, and she can. But that ain't gonna work, We need to get him somewhere
No.
else, right?
Him getting back to her place would be the best case scenario,
Yeah.
which we should impress upon Lemon. That should be the plan, because then we could get in and steal the spell book as well.
Well, we're all staying at the Faraway, so maybe this is actually best done in her room at the Faraway. Because they're
Yeah,
gonna
we
meet
take
at the
his
dance.
keys.
They're gonna meet at the dance there, and then she's like, "Oh, I've got a room upstairs."
Mm-hmm.
She starts moaning loudly and knocking on the door or something, knocking on the wall, and then we know that's the signal to bust in the room and take the guy captive.
Or we could just be in the room beforehand. When she goes to take him
Well,
upstairs, we're in the
like-
room and we jump him.
You're hiding in the room and she leads
yeah.
him in and then the trap is sprung.
Maybe. I think there's maybe some benefit in waiting until he's derobed and vulnerable.
True. You know what? I agree with that actually.
So I
Yeah.
think it's better that we're just in the rooms in the corridor waiting for the signal,
Yeah,
and then
agree.
we all just bust in mid coitus.
You want to catch
The
him
guy,
with his pants down.
Because we don't want him doing spells. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Exactly,
right.
Because
This seems like a good idea.
Shit on him,
Yeah.
All the men in the party agree that you guys should wait until Lemon is actually fucking the man before you spring on this.
Yeah. All right. And then we go into and we steal his book.
We're gonna get his book. Yeah, I mean he's probably not gonna have it with him.
Maybe you guys could handle the when he gets to the room part, and Luther and I during the dance, because all of the important people are going to be there. We can go and get his book.
I wonder if it's gonna be easier to get the book once we've got the guy captured. We say to him, "We're not here for
Where
you.
is
We're here
it?
for the spell book. We're not gonna let you go until we get it. So you need to give us the scoop where it is, how we can get in. What to say to the gardener so that we can sneak in without raising the alarm, that kind of thing."
Yeah, that's
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
So, well, we should keep this short. We can meet here tomorrow. I think we all come here in the mornings, this time of the morning. Just have a catch up, make sure things are moving along. Lemon, if there's anything you need, you bring it up tomorrow morning and we can help you out. But otherwise, this is on you.
I'll hand her to help her out. I don't know if she needs more money, right? She came with 100 gold. She went to the bath. She hired people. I'm gonna hand her a bag of 50 gold, just in case she needs more money. So that's gonna bring me down to 60.
Okay. She'll take the 50 gold.
Just a bit of a refill.
Thank you for it. Yeah, because she's paying these people a couple gold a day for their services, plus the inn, plus baths. She's a big spender, that Lemon.
100%.
Yeah. It cost you 5,000 gold just to get her paid, just to get her lifestyle up for this mission.
Well, she's done pretty well out of us in the last 6 months.
She's a good girl.
She can't deny that.
We've gone back and forth on Lemon throughout the years.
Yeah, we have. Well, she's proven her worth here, so I'm now inclined to feel like it was worth it.
A year of freeloading, and all of a sudden now she's making that money back.
If she can help us pull this off, then yeah, it's worth it. Do you think we need to help her get the invite?
No,
I'm thinking
I think
an
she'll
option
handle it.
could be to go to the guy and be like, there's a lady staying here. She's very beautiful. She's from out of town. I don't want to just approach her at the bar all uncouth-like. I've heard that there's a dance. I'm hoping that maybe you could cordially extend an invite to the two of us separately, and then we could...
I'm going to be honest, she's going to get invited anyways. I think we just let her handle it.
Yeah?
Yeah, this is kind of her thing. If she doesn't get invited, then, I mean, she's not doing a good job, right?
If you're not invited to the dance, but you're staying in the inn, do you think you just have to stay in your room, or there's like maybe there's a separate pub room?
Yeah, I kind of just think like if she doesn't get invited to the dance, then she wouldn't have been able to schmooze the guy. So
yeah, that's probably true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I assume she's looking like all dolled up, really posh looking.
Yeah, she's got her nicer clothes on. She isn't wearing the very nicest things that you've seen her. Like, she spent some money on some dresses that you watched her buy and then have never seen her wear.
Yeah.
What she's wearing is one of her more... It's maybe like 5 years old, 10 years old in style. And it's got this... I almost want to say like a rural or farm girl style cut where it's like a little bit shorter on the top. The hems are a little bit higher so that like if you're walking through mud, you're not like kicking anything around. It has this vibe of I'm naturally from the country, but I'm like well-to-do. Like my family has like a nice manor or a nice estate somewhere, and I'm used to drinking tea and fanning myself on like a patio, right? It's like it's more of a summertime wear, and currently in spring right now.
I'm imagining
almost in spring.
Like if you imagined a plantation back in the olden days of America.
Yeah.
A girl in a white dress on the veranda of one of those big plantation mansions that they had.
And this is not white. It's got oranges and blues in it. But yeah, if you're imagining probably the right thing, if you're thinking like wealthy plantation daughter having a good time.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think unless Eraser, Percival, Sierra, or Goat wants to offer anything, then we probably can split up.
I think so.
Yeah. Percival and Goat have been walking around the town yesterday and this morning trying to suss out the security situation.
Yeah.
And they will let you guys know that they've seen two separate groups of 3 men in chainmail who ride horses with long swords. Percival's got a good look at their faces, so he's sure that they're different soldiers. Men-at-arms, guards, knights, who knows what. Probably not knights, but maybe. It would be unusual, but these are unusual times. So he's noticed that those are like, those guys have been riding around. And then he's also seen what you would call like traditional men-at-arms or footmen or town watch who don't quite patrol the streets, but have a few stations about town. There's a watchtower on the north, east, and west side, like anywhere that a road goes. Here's the map again. So like, Cauldron's right here is the 3 roads that come out of it. So there's like a watchtower kind of watching each road, and in very near to where you are right now in the central market, there is a stone keep that has seen better days and is being improved presently. Like some parts of it have been torn down or are being rebuilt. All the fire damage has been washed away. There is a wall that wrapped around it that was stone, and parts of it have been like torn down, and wooden walls have been temporarily put up in place while the rest of the fort gets rebuilt, which will probably take another year or so. And so he'll mention that he's seen, town guards at the watchtowers and at the keep, and on top of the keep tower. But that's it in terms of local security.
So what do you think the easiest way is to get into the keep?
Climb a wall, kill the guy at the top. Hope that no one else sees. I don't know, looks pretty good to me.
We might not even have to get in, right? We just get Shacklebrook to write a letter, I'm away from the keep for a few days and I need someone to bring me my spellbook to the Faraday's far away.
That seems...
If he was away, wouldn't he bring his spellbook with him? Like...
Yeah, but not if he's like in a whirlwind romance.
That seems crazy.
He's holed up in a sex dungeon and he needs his spells, like to clean up the mess or something. I don't know.
Percival,
Wouldn't he
not
get
Percival. Go ahead.
Wouldn't he get someone that they know to bring it then?
Sierra pipes in and says, I don't know if he's even going to be able to get away from any bodyguard of his. We're really going to have to make sure he escapes without his guardians, his men-at-arms, his personal bodyguard.
But they're not going to let all of them into the dance.
Of course they will.
They're not going to let him upstairs in the room, right?
Well, up to them, though.
I don't know the man's proclivities. Maybe he enjoys being watched. Some people...
Didn't we bring poisons?
You did.
Yeah, we did bring poisons, yeah.
What poisons do we got? Because that
Job
could
of
help with the
remembering.
man-at-arms.
I do 12 milkweed. 12 doses of milkweed.
What does that do again, Nick? Do you remember?
I don't know if I've got that.
If I recall, it was like a destabilizing one, not like a kill ya one.
Yeah, I think so. Neil?
I am looking it up right now.
Because we could, in theory, spike the drinks at the dance.
Milkweed. It's likely to put someone to sleep. Yeah, it'll knock you out, make you fall unconscious. It needs to be consumed.
Though, because that's a big event. That'll draw too much attention. But maybe the guards.
The guards, for sure, right?
How do you
Well, it
just
depends on the
poison
situation.
guards?
Depends on the situation. We might not need to.
Sierra
Okay.
will speak up again, being like, well, either way, if we're going to get him to send a letter back saying he needs his spell book, he'll need to be, I don't know. It sounds like a difficult task, right? Like, if the young lord has run off and he writes back with a messenger saying, bring me the spell book,
Yeah.
wouldn't the bodyguards just follow the messenger back with the spell book? You wouldn't entrust
Yeah,
it to just a random.
I think that's a bad plan. I think we just need to get in there.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well,
Racer goes,
let's get the
but
guy
didn't you see
captured
that they
first.
fucking boiled him alive? It's a terrifying
Yeah, but that guy's
keep.
shitty. We know. I'm sure there's a way in, and he's gonna know about it.
Think there's
Once
a
we've taken
secret
the guy
entrance?
hostage, Eraser.
I think so.
Percival nods. There's always a back door, a secret back door. The real question is, have they found it yet, or was it destroyed in the rubble? But every castle's got, at least one secret tunnel. More likely 2 or 3.
They might have even built a new one. I mean, we're gonna have a secret entrance into ours, don't you remember? Everybody's got one.
Everyone
Everyone's
nods
got
in
a back
agreement.
door.
You must have a back door.
Of course, there's got to be a back door, and he's gonna know it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right, we'll wait
Let's
till we
keep
get
it-
the kid.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. The next day, we're just gonna skip
we split
ahead.
up. Yeah. I don't think we've got that much else to do, really. We turn up in the mornings at the market, see if there's any updates.
There is.
Oh, there is. Okay.
There is, yeah. The next day, the 21st of March, a Sunday, Lemon says, doing the same thing. Oh, hello, gentlemen. It's good to see you again. Bodyguards, these people took good care of me yesterday. Why don't you again take your once-a-day hourly break of protecting my dignity and safety and travel about. Bodyguards head off. And she'll tell you that the next dance is scheduled for April 1st, which is the first day of spring, and it is a holiday known as Oakwish that occurs on the spring equinox. It's a time when communities come together to plant trees, sometimes just a single tree, as a symbolic transition into spring and a time of rebirth. Planting potted plants is another frequent method of celebration, like you have a potted plant and just put it in the earth. As is the eating of candied acorns or almonds or walnuts or some other nut that has been saved and preserved throughout the winter. So it's the big first festival. It's when Malchus appears in the sky for the first time that night. It's the signaling of the end of winter.
Will
And that is
he
gonna
appear,
be-
though?
Will who
What,
appear?
what date are we on now?
Malchus.
Oh,
We'll have to find out.
Yeah.
what date are we on now? Like late March, aren't we?
Yeah, we're late March.
So
So
not too long.
it's in a week and a day.
Okay.
Perfect. Good job. You get an invite?
Not yet. I am working on it.
Okay. You let us know if we can help you.
The owner of Faraday's Faraway is not the man I thought he was. And she does not. She seems fairly immune to my charms, so I'll find another way in. Don't you worry about it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we leave her to do her work, you know?
Yep.
Unless she asks for help, I think we just sort of stay out of it.
I mean, we're kind of resting here. Any XP?
Didn't you get XP? We gave you XP at the end of the last session.
That's right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I would like one of you volunteer for this task.
I will volunteer.
All right.
ahead.
I need you to make a charisma check for Lemon at a -4 to see if she can just talk her way in after she tried to sleaze her
What's her
way
charisma?
into an invite ticket. Her charisma is 8.
-4,
she's
so
fucked.
+4.
Yeah. It's not a great check, just to see if she can like worm her way casually back into. No. So next day she tries to get an invite through just chatting. Just with chatting to the inn owner, and that doesn't work out. And she'll let you know the following day that like that didn't work out, but she's got another plan. And her other plan involves being a different noble person's +1. You know, someone who's going to get invited. Can she get to know them and then get an invite and abandon him at the party?
Yeah.
That's the second plan.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah. This can't be Lemon's stats.
No,
Did
needs
she
higher
really
charisma.
roll a 3 for con?
Con, yes, yeah.
Wait, what?
Lemon has
sickly.
3 constitution?
Yep.
That can't be right.
I mean, it is.
I remember it.
But is she not diseased?
Well, yeah. You're
So she's diseased with 8 charisma, and we're meant to believe that she's a smoke show.
the charisma is her. It's not her looks, right? She's got like 15 hotness or something, I think is what we rolled. But her charisma is low. Like when you actually sit down and have a real conversation with her, she's fine. She's an ordinary person, but she's not like the
Life and soul.
yeah.
She's figuring it out.
She's fine. She's like she has the same charisma as most people who play D&D. Myself included.
Okay,
Yeah.
so who's this noble person then? You're going to find one in town? Or you thinking that one of us pretends?
No, because she needs to get an invite from someone who already is going to get one. And she will. She's got a week to make a friend and get a little invite here. So we're going to roll Lemon's hotness versus a local fancy lad's
Horniness.
wisdom.
Yeah, that seems fair.
All right, so Mr. Mooton, you're going to roll her a hotness check. I do believe Lemon, was it 14 or 15?
Wait, is this the first official
Probably
hotness
15.
check ever to be rolled?
It might be.
I don't know that we see a hotness check before.
D20 plus 15?
I'm looking up her hotness. I know we rolled it when we found her.
She was hot.
Well, that's why she was.
Right, because there was
Totally
a bunch of them that they met in Meadstead. There were like 3, right? It was like Lemon and Crystal or something,
Oh,
like
that's
Lemon and
right.
something
Yeah,
or
she's
other.
not- I forgot about that. She was like the farmer's daughter or something.
Yeah, there was a bunch of unscrupulous women that Sierra was hanging out with in Meadstead,
Yeah,
and
well,
he wanted to
while we
bring
were
them all
waiting for
back.
Percival.
And one of you guys was like, "No, you can only take one,"
Oh.
and so he picked her. But her hotness is not in the wiki, so I get to decide.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be 14.
Okay.
So D20 plus 14.
33.
Oh my god. Versus local merchants. 1D20 plus, he's a merchant, so he's got above average wisdom probably. So 40, 61. Natural 1 for the merchant.
Okay. He's
not
into
planning
it. He loves
something.
her.
yeah.
Might
Now
like
this-
her too
No, no.
much.
This
He's gonna
merchant.
try and kill Lord Shackleton when when she abandons him at the dance. Lord Shacklebrook, sorry.
Yeah. This
Incel.
it's not an incel because he rolled a 1. He actually has 10, so he's got relatively decent wisdom, but he's just in a bad spot, right? Like this is a guy whose wife has recently divorced him, or just fucking took off with another man because he didn't go through the legal process of divorce. You just get on some other dude's horse and you just ride out of town, never to be seen again. And that didn't
In this
happen
case,
that long
horse is
ago.
a euphemism.
Horse is literal, but probably
Oh.
also a euphemism going on at the same time. Like,
True. Okay.
yeah. So this guy, heartbroken. His wife ran away. He's got his business that he's not his business. He's a minor noble here in Cauldron. He owns some lands. His town is just coming back. He's finally got peasants back on his lands, and he's an older bloke, right? He's in his late 60s. He had land in Cauldron before the demons came. He had to flee. He's come back. Everything's getting going. His new wife that he's only had for a year, who's already 30 years younger than him, fucking takes off with some hot kid named Paris, and they take off to Shirebrook or whatever. And Lemon swoops on in, batting her eyes, putting the farm girl chest out. And this guy, he just falls hard. It's a bad time for him. He's real vulnerable. And
He's
Lemon,
making some unwise decisions right now.
yeah. And soon you'll see the bodyguards that Lemon hired disappear. Lemon is next seen in the market the following day. She doesn't come say hello, but she's got, her arm through this guy's and she's like leaning on him heavily. It's very
Nice.
clear that she's picked up a friend.
She's a genius.
Perfect. She's done it, yeah.
Good roll, Mooton.
That evening, I will go to the owner of the Faraday's Far Away if I can see him.
Right. So the owner is a woman. She owns the place, but she doesn't operate the bar area.
Yeah.
She sort of like sits in the back of house keeping tabs on things. What do you want to say?
Hey, have you got a minute?
I do.
Was speaking to some of the townsfolk over the last few days, and they mentioned when the festival happens later this week that there's going to be a dance here. From what I can tell, it's quite an exclusive affair.
It
So
is.
I've got 2 questions. One is, are guests invited? And the second is, assuming that we're not, what's the situation while the dance is happening?
Guests are explicitly invited, and if you receive an invitation, you will know.
Okay.
When the dance is on, the common room is closed. Any arrangements for dinner can be made ahead of time or can be had out of doors. There are other fine establishments in this town that can help you for that day. You don't need to come through the common room to get to your bedroom, so it shouldn't be an issue.
That's great. So the rooms and everything, that's still fine?
Everything else is still operational, just the common room is closed.
Well, thank you so much. And,
Of course.
I will put a platinum piece on the desk.
She
Excellent.
pointedly looks at the platinum piece without moving, and then looks back up at you and tries to gauge whether this is a bribe or this is a thank you.
I just say for the hospitality.
Yeah. She smiles and just takes the platinum coin. You're welcome.
Yep.
What did you
I
say
wait
your
for
name
my-
was, Lord?
Luther.
Mr. Luther.
Lord,
Thanks for your help. I head into the common room to get a drink. So hoping to maybe get an invite there, but we'll see.
All right. So that is on Wednesday the 24th that Lemon finds her man and that you talk to the owner. We've got 4
week.
days until, well, on the 5th day will be the day of the dance. Is there any prep that needs to be done beforehand, or can we just skip to the day of the
I
dance?
think we can just skip.
I think we can skip. Yeah. Do I get an invite?
No.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we just skip.
Loser.
Well,
All right, we're not going to try and get into that. We're just skipping. So what's the
No.
plan?
I'm not going to try twice. Yeah.
What's the plan for the day of? Where are we going to be? In the halls?
I think we're in our rooms and we have a signal agreed with Lemon as to, like, you know, she's going to shout some, "Oh, Lord Shackleton, your scepter is so large," or something, and that's going to be our signal.
Okay. Great. Why don't we take a short break so I can go get my food out of the toaster, and we'll come right back and do this.
Sweet.
All right.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. So, we're skipping. We're skipping straight to the night.
The night off.
There's a party, and you're not invited.
Yeah, rip.
We didn't want to go anyways. We're busy.
I think I will try and, if there's somewhere I can have a drink whilst I can see people going to the party, you know, like the entrance to the Faraday's far away.
One thing that I wanted to do is like a day or two before, just in the fucking middle of the night, with Luther being like kind of a bodyguard in the hallways. I just want to pick Lemon's door a few times just to get like a gauge on how hard this is going to be to do. Sure, she could leave it open, but maybe he locks it behind her. I want to have like a bit of a contingency plan if I need to pick it.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. Give me one moment while I find the appropriate. There it is. Right. So it's the day of the dance and you're not invited. You want to go pick the lock while everyone else is at the party, just so you can get a feel for it.
Maybe a few days before.
A few days before? Not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you had literally just said that and I only half heard you.
No.
The lock here is a common lock. Has a skill 5. You are 25 points ahead of this. You pick this lock in a minute without even thinking about it. It's one of the more basic, common, easy forms of locks. This is
awesome.
Chump change. And if every door in this tavern, in this inn is like this, you can get anywhere you want, whenever you want.
It's good to know.
Judging by the area, if there is a door that's more guarded, that's probably only going to be 1 tier higher, which would be a good lock, which you could still do in a minute. So you can act with confidence knowing that you can pick everything here, and if there's something you can't pick, it's really standing out.
On the night of the party, I would like to just kind of be perusing the hallways, bumbling about, and I just want to see who goes in which door. If there's anybody of interest, maybe I'll steal from their door while they're at the fucking party. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Probably not, but maybe.
Well,
So I'm going to try and be outside, Neil, watching the front door of the tavern, hopefully from a different bar. That's what I want to do.
Yes. So let's talk about the lay of the land here. It would be helpful if we understood the situation we're dealing with. So if we scroll down to below the tether wilds, above the talons, So we've got a... Actually, I take it back. I want to go back up to where our doodle near the cauldron is. The building that we're talking about, the Faraday Faraway, abuts one of these bleachers. And it is a 3-story building over here. It's a biggin. And the ground floor is actually like kitchens and storage room and a couple of in rooms. The second floor, which you need to walk up an outside staircase to get to, is sort of the common room, and then the other half of it is bedrooms, and then the third floor is bedrooms as well. And so I'm just going to give you like I'm going to cut it a little bit so you can see. We're going to do, so from the ground floor, and I'm going to bring you down to here to take a look at it. So this is going to be the ground floor, and about half of it is kitchen and storage, which you can kind of tell by it from the outside. You can see people coming and going. So we put KS over here. And then also on the ground floor, there are what appears to be 4 bedrooms that just split like this, with a door here, here, here. And then the least desirable of the ground floors is this one, because this backside is where the bleachers are. Just so we have a complete picture of what's going on.
So they've got doors going out into the street.
Yeah, these are street doors on the ground floor. And there is a staircase. The kitchen door is here, and then there's a staircase that starts and wraps around like this to get to the second floor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you'd enter in up here. And just to give us a view of the second floor, I'm going to put it right next door. We've got a common room over here with a little bar that runs the length like this, and a small staircase that leads down probably like this, behind the bar. Hard to move things sometimes. So this is a staircase that would come up from the kitchen and come out here behind the bar, so you can move things back and forth pretty easily. On the second floor, though, there is a walkway that goes all the way around, and the staircase that leads up to it, comes like that.
Okay.
This makes sense. So from the ground floor, this area right here, like walking right around the edge, is actually underneath this walkway, right? So that's kind of all shaded territory. To go up, you would take the staircase, which I guess would actually be further out, but grabbing lines and moving them is sometimes hard in Roll20. Yeah. Staircase comes out like that more. And then to get to the third floor, there is over here, there's like another little staircase that comes out and wraps around on this side, which would lead us to the third floor. Getting myself a little pen tool.
And which floor are we on one more time?
You two are on the second floor.
Good
And
floor to be on.
the common room's also on the second floor.
Common room's on the second floor too, yeah. And then we're just going to divide this. The second floor also just has the 4 rooms. These are all more desirable. And then the third floor, which also has the wraparound walkway. Oops. There we go. And you're not sure how the rooms are divided on the third floor, but on the first and second, they all have outward-facing doors. So you expect that's probably what the third floor is. Actually, you walked up there to go pick Lemon's room, so you must know they're also outward-facing doors, and there are 4 doors on each side.
So there's no like internal corridors.
No internal corridors. But the backs of the rooms are all against each other, so the buildings are made out of stone. At least this one is made out of stone. So there might not be a ton of sound moving from neighbor rooms to neighbor rooms. But, Lemon could leave a window open if she wanted to be heard.
Maybe we need a better signal.
We're not in the room next door, right?
No, you guys are on the floor below.
Lemon's on the 3rd floor.
On the 3rd floor?
Yeah.
Well, she's got to go outside to bring him to her room. Right, so I could be watching from outside. You could be waiting in our room. When I see Lemon and Lord Shacklebrook head up the stairs to the 3rd floor, I could then finish my drink, cross over to the
Yeah, just give it like
street.
a 2 minutes and then we can go.
Go to the 2nd floor, knock on our room, get you. Knock on Eraser's room and Sierra's room, get them, and then the 4 of us can go up to the 3rd floor. Follow it.
Couldn't we just also, if we know the party's gonna be on the 1st floor, can't we just get a room on the 3rd floor like a few days before and just be like,
We don't want to be near the whole party and stuff. Can we get a room on?
Why does it make a difference being on the 3rd floor?
or I meant the 2nd floor with her.
No, you are on the 2nd floor. She is on the 3rd floor.
Okay, so yeah, then if we're all on the 3rd floor together, doesn't it make it better, Nick?
I don't know that it does. I think it's fine.
I don't give a shit. It's fine. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's
it's not
okay.
too big of a deal either way.
Okay. I'm going to mark this is the room for the 2 of you, this purple dot. And Sierra, it was Sierra and Eraser also have a room on the 2nd floor that's kitty corner to yours.
Okay.
Sarah, Eraser,
I'll do it.
Pigeon, Luther. Oh, and then Lemon's room is, let's just roll a d8. 1. This is Lemon's room.
Okay.
Okay. Does that clear up anything that you
So
might
to
need
go
to
back
know?
to my point, is there a place I can drink where I can see the entrance to Lemon's room and preferably also the entrance to the pub as well?
Lemon's room would overlook the Cauldron, so you wouldn't be able to see Lemon's door unless you were hanging out in the bleachers.
Okay, I
Or
would
the
like
backside
somewhere
near
then
the
where I can at
execution
least
grounds.
see these stairs that lead up to the 3rd floor.
Oh yeah, totally. These 3rd floor stairs, they're on the outside and they're up on the 3rd floor, so you can see them from pretty far away. You can go to Paula's Pie Shop. That's the one place you know. You could try out this other area nearby. It's a little further away, but it's less of a pie
It's
shop
not like
and more
it's
of like
happening
a.
across the road.
This is the market just outside of here, where all of the
Well, yeah, I go to the pie shop then. I'm going to stay there.
Perfect.
I want to be able to confirm A, when Lemon arrives, B, when Lord Shacklebrook arrives, and 3, C, when Lemon takes Shacklebrook upstairs to her room.
You should be able to see all of this from there as long as
Perfect.
Well, actually, Monday the 1st of April is a new moon. There's not going to be a moon out in the sky. And if it's
There's gonna be
overcast, it would be very
Those-
difficult to see.
Those wooden stairs would be treacherous in the dark. They must have lanterns and stuff.
Do you really think
There's
health and
light.
safety cares about that in this day and age?
Well, for fancy people. I just think they're like potentially wet wooden stairs.
I think they are wet wooden
well lit.
stairs, but like people, I think that's just the way that people lived.
I think that we just, if we can't see him, we just get in her room and we just wait in there and then hold a dagger to the guy. I mean, it's instant. It's going to be a dark room.
There's no lights from the windows, Neil.
There will be
Illuminating
lights
these
on
things?
in this room for certain. And this has a door here. And there's a second door that overlooks the execution grounds. Just change
I don't know that we can realistically 4 of us hide in a room without being seen, but
Or
if there's
just
no
have
other,
2 of us in and then we could send 1 after,
it's just yeah. It's not as good of a plan as catching him while he's mid-coitus.
I agree. It's not as funny. But I don't think it matters. I'm going to be honest. I just don't think this matters at all.
Okay. So
How do you think we work out what to do then?
Just have 2 people in the room ready to go.
Okay.
all right. So the 2 of you are going to wait in Lemon's room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other 4 members of SEAL Team 6, what are they going to do?
Doesn't
What's-
really matter. Probably nothing.
They'll wait until Luther comes and grabs them. They'll be in just our room downstairs or something.
I mean, I'm not sure that piling 6 guys into the room after the guy's gone missing is a good idea, because at that point somebody might be watching his room maybe, so...
And Eraser brings up
Maybe
a point. How the hell are we going to get him out of this building? You can't get downstairs without walking past the dance hall.
Well,
Is there a window?
I mean, it's outside. We could chuck him off the 3rd floor, but he wouldn't live.
Well, we worry about it in the morning. Right?
Aren't they going to come knocking? Like, presumably this guy's going to show up not alone, right? And he's the soon-to-be Baron. They're not going to just like leave him. If he goes upstairs with a chick, who knows what they're going to think?
So
But,
this
like-
is the dance floor?
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is a door out
Yeah.
into the hallway.
Yeah.
No window, correct?
There are windows, yes.
Can't we just swap rooms with Lemon and have her come to this room?
Have
So
her
we
come to
could-
the 2nd floor?
Yeah, have her come to the 2nd floor.
Sure.
Quote unquote be on the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
But
But then how do you get him out?
Now that she's on the 2nd floor, we could chuck him out a window.
But then you still have to throw him from the 2nd floor down to the ground floor, right?
Can't you put just a rope out and then he would climb down or die?
I mean, wouldn't that just be visible to everyone, though? Like, that's just... What, just tie him up and lower him, have him climb the rope or lower him down the rope? Like, we could cast a spell or he could call for help. Right?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really understanding the layout, I guess, as much as I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying now, yeah. So how do you get him out of the 2nd floor without him being seen? And
Right, how do
I
we
don't
get
know
him down the
answer.
ground?
It's not getting him out's not necessarily an issue, you know. We can disguise him, we can cover him up. It's the guards that'll be waiting for him that are the issue.
Cover him up, huh?
Yeah.
What if we call for like a doctor and Sierra shows up as a doctor and we knock out the Lord, lay him on a stretcher and cover him with a blanket, pretend he's had some sort of episode, Doctor hauls him off.
Wouldn't the guards want to come?
No, we pretend it's not him, you know, we're like, oh, this guy out from he got drunk in his room or he had an episode in his room. It's not the Lord, he's just some knocked out dude on a stretcher. Lemon doesn't show
Yeah.
back up.
That's fine.
What do you think, Luther?
Maybe that's more trouble. Like maybe we just no, because if he's knocked out, he can't shout.
Yeah, well, he's a spellcaster, right? We got to make sure he's knocked out or tied up and
Yeah.
gagged.
Well, I
something.
got a ball gag.
Can't we just like disguise the guy and walk him out with a dagger at the back of his neck? If he says anything, we kill him.
Sure. But let's say he's stupid enough to say something. Let's say he's a fucking idiot and he thinks he can call out to his buddies. And then he
He's not
does,
stupid,
and
though.
we
He's a
kill
wizard,
him.
right?
Well, no. But let's say it happens. And we do kill him. Then what? Now we've just got all the guards coming after us?
Okay,
We're going to
what
risk
if,
our lives on this guy making good decisions for himself?
because the common room is out of action for the night.
Mm-hmm.
Would-be drinkers would have to drink in their own room, right? So I could imagine we'd be sending orders down to the bar. What if we order loads and loads of drink through the night? We wait for when the event happens, and then we smuggle the guy out. We knock him out. You know, we have like one arm over the shoulder. We can kind of carry him out, and we can be like, you know, it's my friend. He's really drunk. He's been drinking all night. He needs some fresh air. We're gonna go out into the street. And that
Yeah.
way we can kind of smuggle him out, knocked out.
Yeah, we just got to walk around this outside edge, and then we'd be gone. As long as as long as you can't see his face and that he's Lord, what's his bottom? All right. So we're going to need all 6 of us on the, on a floor together so that we can act like a raging party.
Yeah. Okay.
But here's the key. He looks at Sierra specifically, and then he looks specifically at Goat. We can't actually get blackout drunk.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to have to pour this booze into the chamber pots, essentially. We got to stay sober enough to do this.
Yeah.
Would putting the milkweed into the, let's say like we put the milkweed in everybody's beer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would it just have a lesser effect of maybe like making the guards tired versus like falling asleep?
If it was diluted, the guards the DC of the saving throw would go down by 5. And then the effects, they would become drowsy if they fail. Depending on how bad, there's 3 effects depending on where you roll in your save. And if it's diluted, they would be less likely to fall asleep and more likely just to be drowsy. And when they are drowsy, they automatically lose initiative and they have AC and hit penalties of 2 because they're just kind of like, I can barely keep my eyes open.
Nick, is there a reason not to just dilute everybody's drink then?
How?
I'm sure that it's going to be a barrel of alcohol, right? If we can get to the barrel the night before and we can just throw all the milkweed in there and it's going to get mixed up, right? It would.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. Probably not everyone's drinking the same thing. It's a fancy place. Some people are going to be drinking wine. Some drinking beer. Second thing is like, I don't know. Is there not like if everyone's falling asleep in the bar, does it not raise like is somebody not going to work out that they've been poisoned? It's like at that point it's like 50 people. Someone's going to roll a 20, right?
And the onset time is like,
isn't this weird?
Is like 15 minutes or so.
If the guards are like waiting outside for the guy, I could see maybe poisoning a pitcher. Like walking out, you've got a pint and you've got a pitcher and you're drinking the pint. And you go, oh, like, do you guys want a drink? And then you like neck your pint, you pour them and you hand it to them. And the pitcher's poisoned, right? Maybe we could get them like that.
Okay, yeah. I think that would just be too hard. It's easier to just do it all or none. So I would just say none, and then we
I think smuggle the guy out. So I think how it is then we've got me and Pigeon in Lemon's room waiting, and then we've got the 4 of them in the other room having the party. When we've got the guy captured, we'll do the exchange then and make out like he's one of the drunk guys from the party and like smuggle him out that way.
Yeah. They can smuggle him out. They can take him to the second location, which is near the fucking river.
It's and if the flop house, right? Sorry, I
thought we were taking him out of town.
No, we are. What I mean is Percival has come from the flop house. So he's there for the party in the room, and when he gets drunk, they're taking him back to the flop house to bed. That's like the excuse. Like if anyone asks, like he's not staying here. We need to get him out of here. Yeah.
Okay.
So I will get in my stuff that I'll hide under the bed with me some like makeup that I can use to make his face a bit darker, like some appropriate clothes with like a hood that I can pull over his head, like I give him my jacket and he can pull the collar up, like just enough to like
maybe the day before we have Sierra or Percival dress up kind of like that in that outfit, so it can even seem like more oh, we've seen this guy before,
yeah okay. Yeah
okay. So you'll dress someone up, give him some makeup, give him a ruddy dark clothes, big oversized coat and whatnot, have everyone hang out. Day of the party starts an hour before sunset, like any good party.
We are hiding in the room, so I guess we don't really see anything.
Yeah. It is the first day of spring. It's the festival known as Oakwish. Everyone's out in town getting ready for the new year. People are planting trees, singing songs. Bunch of hippy-dippy tree-hugging bullshit is what's going on out there. You guys are planning the heist of your lives.
Luther, you
gotta go for the ball gag.
I hand you the ball gag that I have.
And I'll go for the knives, because I got 2 of them.
Okay.
And if he makes a move, he's gotta die. He's a wizard.
We just gotta wait, let's just wait for him to be in the act before we spring on trouble. Hide under the bed.
Does it look like we can, Neil?
I mean, we gotta
You
wait
could
for the door
hide
to be
against
closed.
the back of the wall. You could put one person under the bed. There's a wardrobe that you could hide one
go.
person or one
Okay,
person
there
and
we
go
go.
in.
One in the wardrobe.
I'll go in the wardrobe.
I'll go under the bed.
You go into the bed. All right.
Okay.
We also need a plan to get Lemon out as well. Because we're a big group of guys, right? Lemon's not with us, but the guards are going to have seen that he's gone with Lemon. So she also will need to be able to make an escape without the guards being like, hey, where's Lord Jackalbrook when she goes to leave? So maybe she needs like a rope that she can use to like climb down from the 3rd floor. Do you think?
No, I think she would just leave with all of us. Clothes change.
Okay, clothes change.
Clothes change in the room. We all leave. You and I are gonna eventually dip out to go and do the maybe of the
Trying to
heist of the spell book. Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Clothes change for Lemon. We'll make her look like a boy. Very easy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Sierra will speak up and say, well, clothes change for Lemon. So then they come to search the place because they haven't seen the Lord in a while, and they find no Lord and no Lemon. If you were a noble guard and your Lord was gone missing, and you search the tavern where you thought he was in, or he'd run off with a woman, you find neither Lord nor woman, and later you get a ransom. Do you think the woman has been taken hostage as well? Or do you think the woman was in on it?
Well, you think the woman was in on it, but who cares?
Has she been going around using her real name?
She has, yes. She's been calling herself Lemon. She did not roll high on her intelligence either.
All right, well, maybe
Oh, actually, no, she did. She's fine.
we...
I don't think it matters. Like,
We don't mind
she's
blowing
not the
Lemon's
only-
cover.
She's not the only person called Lemon. You know, there's a whole city full of people. I mean, how are they going to track it down?
Andy Racer
Yeah.
nods and goes, Lemon's not Steel Team 6. If shit goes south for her, love the woman, but...
If she's stupid enough to be using her own name, then yeah, maybe we have to cut her loose. But I'm sure she's smarter than that, and I don't know that they'd be able to find us anyway.
I don't know. Pigeon thinks about this. I don't think he can convince the group to do it, though.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Maybe
He'll say this to just Luther while they're, doing something.
maybe we just kill Lemon in there. No strings. She's had her use, How do you think Percival would feel?
I think it's Sierra that'll have the
Or
issue.
Sierra, yeah.
But aren't you sleeping with her?
Kind of shrug.
I'm sleeping with a lot of people. I mean, that would make it a lot more serious too. If they saw a dead girl in there, we'd probably get more money. They know that we're maniacs then.
We've kidnapped the Lord. They know we're maniacs. I
mean,
think
we're
that's
hardly heroes. You think it's too far?
I think it's a step too far.
I'll broach the conversation to Eraser then, because I got Luther's opinion. He didn't seem like crazily opposed, like, Pigeon, you're crazy. He's just like, I think it's a little step too far. So
Now, Racer, what do you think about this idea?
Kill Lemon, huh?
No loose ends.
No loose ends. No wild expenses.
We can just get another girl, she's gonna die soon anyways. Have you seen her? She's coughing up blood.
Yeah, she's definitely got something. They say it's the consumption, but I'm not a doctor. Huh. Pigeon, I don't normally like to spill blood. But this is different. We're not making any enemies by doing this. I don't think we should burn a resource needlessly But if it needs to be done, it needs to be done.
I just worry about getting her out.
The alternative is we leave her there, let them find her, and hope she can talk her way out of it. Maybe she can come up with some sort of story about like she and the Lord had their fun and then he left and she stayed behind.
But what if they're gonna torture her and put her in the gallows? You know, she's gonna squeak.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy that. What if she's been going around with that real desperate guy? What if what if we tell him where she is? He comes in, gets all mad at her, makes a big scene with the two of them fighting. People think that like, no, I don't know how that would work.
I mean, do you think we can get her out? If we can get her out, it's easy. If we can't, if you don't think we can, then I think we might need to cut her loose.
I think we can get her out. I mean, I know I'm not there, but you said yourself, like,
If
we
we-
can just make her look like a boy.
If we can get the Lord out, we can get her out, right?
All right.
She might have to leave behind some of her dresses, though. I don't know if we got room
Yeah.
for all of her stuff.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. She'll leave her shit. We won't cut her today.
To be fair, though, she might be able to wear like more than one dress at once to make herself look bulkier, and then put a jacket over it. You know, make her look more like a man. That way, she can maybe get fewer miles at once. We've managed to suspend Pigeon's bloodlust for another day. Okay,
We'll see.
I take my position under the bed.
I get in
I've
the
got
wardrobe.
a ball gag in one hand, a short sword in another.
It's just like every night with you, isn't it?
Yeah, under the bed with my ball gag, just waiting
And
for
a
somebody
short
to try and just waiting for somebody to try and have sex near me.
Somewhere out there is a person whose fetish is exactly this.
Yeah.
All right, Sierra, Eraser, Percival, and Goat are going to be hanging out in Sierra and Eraser's room. And they're ordering booze all day long. They're getting crunk. They've ordered so much alcohol that the owner has to come by and check on them to make sure that they're not going to be too much of a problem in the evening when the party gets started. And they're like, oh, no, we'll be fine. The party gets going. You can hear it in the distance through the walls. You know, the sound of music kind of spilling out through open doors and windows and trickling up to you. The vibrations of violins coming through the floor just a smidge. Where's our great party music? Do we have party music?
My worry is about Lemon really getting the guy. You know?
I think she'll be fine. My problem is if there's some reason, I don't know. We'll see.
When we need to knock the dude out, should we give him milkweed?
Just overdose him on milkweed. Fuck it, yeah.
We might kill him if we do that, though.
Just give him a ton. Not like killable amount, but like let's give him 2 doses, you know?
No, but is that not enough that it could potentially kill him?
So
I
the
don't remember. Sparky
DC
would've told
to
us.
die would be 5 or less on a D20 plus con, which is extremely hard to do. And if you double his dose, the DC goes up by 10. So you'd have to roll a 10 or less to die on a D20 plus con.
Okay, well, that seems... Wait, 10 or less. Pluses plus, so it's D20 plus con, 10 or less.
So if he's got 10 con, he would need to roll
A 0.
Okay.
a 0.
So we
Right.
could probably double dose him then.
You
We
could
can
double
him
dose,
he'll
and that
fall
would
asleep quick.
take his fall asleep DC from 21 to 26.
Got it.
So that might be pretty reasonable.
Yep.
All right. The party's happening.
We'll have a pre-mixed drink in the room with the milkweed then for him to drink or die.
Yeah.
The two of you are in the room. You can hear the sounds in the distance. You're waiting. It's going to take a while, right? The party starts an hour before sundown. Who knows when the Lord shows up? And then who knows how long it's going to take Lemon to find the guy and get into his good graces and squirrel him away.
Yeah.
In fact, we haven't done any recon. We don't know if in the intervening time, the new lord has found a woman. Maybe he's got his whistle wet. Maybe this whole plan is for naught. Hell, we didn't even check to see if he was in town. Well, he was in town a week ago. No,
He's the Baron. Of course he's in town.
of course. It would be irresponsible. So we're just going to make a quick roll. Make sure that there's no catastrophe that has taken him away from town. He's in town.
I rolled
Although,
a 1.
You rolled a 1?
Just in my own mind. Pigeon is in the wardrobe right now, just being like, I'm gonna have to fucking kill Lemon. I'm gonna really have to do it. Nobody else understands. But yeah, that's it.
Oh dear.
Oh, God.
Spiraling.
The Lord shows up to the party, all right. When does he get there? He gets there fashionably late. A little bit after sundown. Does he bring his set of bodyguards? That's only the one. Wow. He rolled a 3 on whether or not he brought his bodyguards with him on a d20. That's not great.
He's feeling safe.
This is the sort of event where he has enough friends in the room. There are plenty of other nobles here. They all have swords. This is the in crowd. This is the trusted party. And it's a holiday, so he's letting his other men like go hang out with their families. He's just going to take the one bodyguard with him to the fancy party. All right.
All right, well, that's good.
Now Lemon. It's all up to Lemon. So we're gonna role play vicariously through her. I think the last time we had a hotness check, it was Pigeon who rolled it. So Luther, would you roll me a d20 plus 14 for Lemon's hotness seduction ability?
Well, it all fall apart here, couldn't it?
Wait, I just want to argue. Are there any bonuses here? Because when you're drinking, I'm not kidding, you for sure get a little bit of the drunk goggles.
Yeah,
on,
and
you
also
know,
her makeup and her dresses are immaculate. She's never worn them. This should give her some benefit.
Well, we also, that would be to his opposed check if he had problems. But that's going to be an issue of when Lemon decides to approach. Does she wait for the guy to get plastered before she makes her move? Or does she approach him earlier in the evening to try and build a rapport? Because I don't know. I mean, men are simple creatures. You could probably walk up to a man and be like, hey, you want to go? And get him to go with you. But if you're a lord, like, you might need to build a rapport throughout the evening. A couple of dances, some flirting. So she might not approach him when he's drunk. He also might not get drunk if he's a wizard.
Yeah, I get that. But the dresses and the makeup should give a bonus to hotness.
Maybe. But, like, the competition is all dressed to the nines,
yeah,
too.
That's fair. Come on, Nick. Just don't roll low.
Well, I'm going to, though, aren't I? Because it's what I do.
No.
Do you want to let
this
Moon roll it?
Yes,
24.
yes, not this
He's
time.
done it. Not this time, baby. We got a 10. The ultimate roll.
All right. Wilhelm Shacklebrook's initial response as Lemon meets him, asks him for a dance, and the two of them begin to, hang out.
Nice. She's
18.
in. Oh, he's
Lemon rolled a 24 on her hotness. He rolls an 18 on his wisdom willpower. He doesn't realize that he's getting played.
Trapped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They have a couple of spins on the floor. She trips accidentally, big air quotes, and he can kind of like catch her and help her. But Lemon's a street kid. She's a farmer's daughter from a backwoods. She might be able to dress up nice, and she might be able to be like, oh no, I dropped my handkerchief. But she doesn't have the patience for like a long, slow seduction. She's in the present, right? So that she gets back to puts him back on the wall.
She's fiery.
She's not letting this kid go. She's going to make some sort of wildly forward advance. She's going to whisper something in his ear that is going to cause him to, change his trajectory for the evening. Now, charisma is maybe not Lemon's greatest stat. Her charisma's only an 8. But it kind of depends on this. Now, she is going to whisper something into this young lord's ear, and he's already sort of into her. But as we mentioned before, he's a very young, very single man who has very little experience in this world. He is at his greatest of vulnerability to some such message. So I'm going to let the party decide.
he's not feeling vulnerable either, right? He feels safe.
Yeah. I'm going to let you decide whether you want Lemon's charisma check to be made at advantage or Wilhelm Shacklebrook's counter check to be made at disadvantage. You don't know what his stats
counter
are.
check has disadvantage, right? Because she has a low charisma.
Wait, what's his charisma?
You don't know what his role is going to be.
So her charisma's 8, right?
Her charisma is 8.
What's better, Nick?
It doesn't make a difference. Because it's just 2 rolls.
Let's give her
You beat-
advantage then.
All right, someone roll Lemon's check at advantage. I think it's
Come on,
Mooton's
mate.
turn.
Big money right now.
2d20.
2d20 d1 plus 8.
2d20.
Yeah, you just need the slash before the roll. 24.
Nice.
Okay. And Wilhelm Shacklebrook. I think in this situation, I think this is a willpower check as well. He'll roll a 17. He's not
He's
doing
fucked it.
great. She whispers something in his ear, and his eyes alight. His head turns. He nods. She giggles. No one else knows what's going on, but the man's attentions have been adjusted. It's still early in the night. It's too early to haul him back. There's too many people watching. In fact, the man she came with is watching this whole interaction.
Oh,
He's going to
no.
come and interrupt
Oh, no.
because
This
it's
is the wild
his new
card.
girl. And so
Yeah,
he
and
comes
he's like-
over.
He's gone bad. He's down bad as well, right? He got a 1.
He rolled a what? He's in it bad. His wife just left him, and this new hot chick shows up, and now she's flirting with the Lord. And is the new Lord gonna take his new girl?
Oh, is this
my
guy gonna
God.
punch him?
Oh my god.
Oh, Neil, there's got to be some. He's got to get angry,
He's gonna
right?
get burning hands.
Maybe, but you don't just like.
He's not stupid. You'd have to be.
Imagine
really
he
stupid.
goes up to him in just a fit of fury, Nick, punches him, right? Then she takes him up to the room and is like, "Oh no, dear, dear," and then boom, we sprint.
Yeah. This
Well,
guy's gonna get himself fucking boiled in the geyser if he's not careful.
we had rolled a check for him earlier. He had a 10 on his
I
stats.
think he needs to make another willpower check now,
Yeah.
not to do something fucking stupid.
Well, let's just see how he turns out. He rolls a 13 on his, ability to contain
I don't
his
know, Neil.
rage.
Oh god.
It's not great. 21 would have been a
Not
success.
good.
He takes off his leather glove. He walks up to Lord Shacklebrook. He slaps him across the face with the glove, challenging him to a
Who
duel.
do you think, my wife?
Yeah.
That's not what it is at
Come
all.
to this town and steal
Okay.
my girl.
That's maybe what ought to happen. But this is a sad, petty man. So he's not taking out his rage on Wilhelm Shacklebrook. He
No way.
takes it out on Lemon. So when there's a moment when he gets a chance, he comes up and like grabs her by the wrist and like tugs her away from the Lord with like I need to speak to you, darling, and like hauls her out onto the veranda. And you can hear through
Shacklebrook
the
doesn't
open.
stop her.
He's the Lord. He's
Wow.
chilling. He's also young and not sure. And yeah, this is this guy's girl. And she just said some dirty things to me, but like he's definitely with her. And like he's not taking action immediately. But you can hear, because they're on the second floor and you're on the third and we're both outside, or they're outside and your window's open. You can hear this man saying, and you'll catch it because he says Lemon loudly. You're with me, right? We have an agreement. I am paying you. You should be dancing with me and not that man. Do you understand? Good. Now, let's go back in and you be on your best behavior. And they head back in.
Oh shit.
Does this provoke you to do anything?
No.
What could we do?
He's
I
got
mean,
it. She's
we-
got it.
We can't go in there.
Yeah, no. She's
There's
fucking
nothing
got
we
it.
can do.
Wait,
Let's see
in
if
our
Lemon has an
room,
idea.
he came through?
No. He was
No,
outside
he's
on the
just out
second floor
veranda on
balcony.
the second floor.
Don't
Yeah,
care.
it's just-
Don't care.
Lemon, intelligence check. Does she have a genius plan for getting rid of this guy? Her intelligence check is a natural 18, modified 29. Lemon knows exactly what to do. Lemon comes back inside and starts bawling immediately.
Oh my
She
god. this is such a
hurries
great move.
over to soon-to-be Baron Shacklebrook and says, "He's such a bully," and points directly at the man.
Oh, wow.
Please, please, my lord.
crazy.
I've just met him recently, and he's abusing me.
That's it.
Is Lord
Can we-
William Shacklebrook an idiot, though?
Hold on. I just want to say, is there possible that he left marks when he grabbed her by the arm? Is there like
By
a
the
strength
wrist?
check or anything we can see? Yeah, the wrist.
1d20 plus 3d6.
Oh my God.
Natural 19 modified 27 on his strength check. It's like, some red lines that will disappear
Yeah.
in a minute or two.
But still, though. I don't think it has to make Shacklebrook. I don't think he has to be an idiot to fall for this. That was a 29 on her int check.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Can
Any
she...
Girls coming and crying do be not looking good.
Yeah.
Men are easy. So easy.
Such simple creatures.
Does our Lord have the wisdom and foresight to handle this situation in a diplomatic manner? Or is he going to let his emotions get the control of him? Wilhelm Shacklebrook, third wisdom check of the night. Natural 5 modified 14.
Good.
Wilhelm Shacklebrook is all in. He's never had someone be so forward to tell him the sorts of things that he has heard. And this pig of a man whose wife already left him is now claiming and abusing my honor must. He gets his personal bodyguard who brought him here.
I thought he didn't bring bodyguards.
He brought one.
Oh,
He brought one. He gets his best friend, his best bodyguard, to take this guy and walk him home and have him think about the way he treats people with, a stern warning, leaving just Lemon and Wilhelm Shacklebrook.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. Lemon's doing perfectly.
She's done really well here. Well, I mean, if she can make this happen before the bodyguard gets back, even better.
I think she knows that. I think
Yeah.
even Lemon can put together, now's the opportunity. And once the bodyguard's gone, she looks up at poor Wilhelm Shacklebrook and says, I am so sorry for my appearance. How's my makeup run? And of course, he says, no, baby, no, you look beautiful. You're fine. And she's like, no. I need to reapply. It's so dark outside. Can you help me find my way upstairs? And there he
Nice.
goes. Arm in arm, he escorts little Lemon up the stairs. She gives him a
Little
nice
does he
kiss on the way up. And soon the fix my makeup descends into the filthiest, ruin my makeup pre-pillow talk that you've heard. As Lemon and Baron Wilhelm Shacklebrook are coming into the bedroom, all pretense of I'm a lady, help me out has been lost to Lemon's,
Yeah.
down and dirty
Little does
peasant
he know,
heart.
It's him that's going to have his mouth full very shortly.
Yeah. She throws open the door, runs in, leaps on the bed. He walks in the door behind her. You're standing right behind the doorway, Luther.
No,
you see
I'm
him.
under the bed. I'm under the
Oh,
bed.
you're
under
under the
the
bed.
bed.
Oh, you're under the bed.
Yeah.
Pigeon's in the closet, so you can hear this pigeon from the closet. And Luther, you can just see the shoes, the
Yeah.
feet, and the door's open. Lemon throws herself in. The bed creaks down on top of you, and you can see just the legs of the man in front of you. He steps in, shuts the door, takes a couple steps forward, tries to take off his pants, but would you know, Wilhelm Shacklebrook has 4 dexterity. Still manages to take his pants off appropriately, though. And,
Yeah.
well,
He's firing on all cylinders right now. His wisdom is down, but his physical stats are.
yeah, all the
Yeah, he's
blood has
ready.
been diverted to the movement section of his brain.
Yeah.
At what point do the two of you want to interrupt?
When she starts moaning is when I'll be like, okay.
Okay. Once the
They're
coitus
banging.
has begun.
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's not how it starts off. We're not going to get too deep into the ERP here.
Good.
But you're going to hear him
Bullets.
making sounds well before you hear Lemon making any sounds.
That's
okay.
fine.
Then I'll spring my trap.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think that's fine
Okay.
as well. Yeah.
Sure. Pigeon. The cabinet doors fly
So
open.
I think I can
Well-
see his feet, right? So I'm gonna wait for Pigeon to make his move. When I see him turn around, that's when I'm gonna come out of the bed because I'm a big guy. I'm not getting out from under this bed quickly. It's gonna take me a little bit.
Where is the cabinet in proportion to where he would be? Because it would depend on what I would do. If I would try to do it silently, or if I would try to do it, you know.
So here's our bedroom. I'm going to try and get rid of this purple stuff. Oh, no, actually, that's the wrong floor. Shit. Lemon. All right. Floor down here. So this is our bed. I don't know if that's to scale or not.
Yep.
The wardrobe is right here next to the bed. Definitely not to scale.
Got it.
So that way you could like step off and get to your stuff. And there's like a little nightstand on this side. I don't know why it did it in white. That's terrible.
And where are they currently? Trying to draw.
The Baron is at the end of the bed, and Lemon is on this side.
Okay, then I'm gonna have to be quick. I'm just gonna go for full surprise round, going to like cover him with a dagger.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to bother rolling his surprise because he is surprised. Guaranteed.
He's gotta be. Yeah.
You can bust out of the cabinet.
Yeah. I bust out of the cabinet. I run up to him. I put the dagger to his neck, and I'll say,
Don't say a word, or I'll kill you.
I roll initiative as soon as I hear the cabinet as well.
Yeah, the cabinet busts open. You hop out, knife in hand. The Lord is already making weird noises. Maybe his eyes open, maybe it doesn't. It's a dark room. There's a couple of windows, but it's a full moon. It's a new moon outside. There's not a lot of light. And soon your steel is against the man's neck, and coming out from the bed is Luther. You've got him pincered.
Now,
Lemon
where?
slowly stops what she's doing.
Where's your spell book?
Don't hurt the lady. If you hurt the lady.
Be quiet. If you're loud, I'm gonna kill you. And her. Now, where's your spell book?
My men are downstairs right now. You're never
I
getting out
kind
of here.
of slice a little bit.
In the keep.
And how do we get in? Where's the back door? Where's the special entrance?
There's no back door. There's only the front door. Only a fool builds a back door into his keep.
Can I tell if he's lying?
I'm crack my knuckles. Well, as Pigeon does the intimidating.
Yeah, give me your charisma check.
Yeah.
10.
You roll a 10. I need to check his charisma. You're pretty certain he's telling the truth.
Okay. Well, we need your spell book. So how are we gonna get it?
What do you need to know about it?
We need it. We're gonna sell it.
My spell book?
Yeah.
I'm just an amateur. You're not going to get any money for that.
Well, how many pages are left unused?
You bastard.
Because yeah, that's music to my ears, amateur boy.
Yeah.
You take me to the keep. Don't harm the woman. I'll get it and bring it right back.
Psh, we can't trust you to do that.
No, we can't trust you to do that. I think
We'll just have to take him instead.
we'll just have to take you. Go ahead, ball gag him, Luther.
All right. I put my sword down on the bed next to Lemon.
Hold on. Get the drink. Make him drink it.
Not drinking
Well,
your
hang on.
poison.
It's not poison.
He might still change his mind. Let's not put him to sleep yet. I put the ball gag on him.
Lemon sits on the bed. You know,
See
it's
if
a
he likes
shame
that.
if this guy's going to die without ever having any good time. He's kind of handsome. Want to give me just a few more minutes?
Shut your mouth, Lemon. You fool. You've done your job. Now let us do ours.
You whore. How could you? You in on this too?
Who's ball gag?
Okay. We leave him with the ball gag for a little bit. I like throw him into the I throw him like onto the bed and I pull out a rope and like tie him to the headboard of the bed.
Yeah.
And then I take Pigeon and Lemon to the other corner of the room where we can whisper to each other so it looks like we're deciding what to do with him.
I'll rope you tie a pretty good.
You give him a nice good tie with the ropes. With his 4 dexterity, I doubt he's getting anywhere.
Okay, what do we want to do? We could just abandon the spellbook.
Yeah,
Still
I
5,000 gold.
I think we're gonna have to abandon the spell book.
I'll drag his pants over as we're talking, and I'll rummage through them.
I think his lordship, much like the president of the United States, doesn't carry anything on him. He has
doesn't
people to
seem to.
carry everything and open doors, and he just says, "I want that," and someone takes care of it for him.
Do you have any rings on?
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll take his rings.
All right.
All
He's
right,
also got a
so,
necklace then.
Oh, we
Yeah,
take
so
that.
we're talking in the corner. What should we do? Just abandon the book? Keep it easy?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
All right.
All of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take the gag out. I'll hold his mouth open. You get the drink.
Yeah, I'll put the dagger to his throat.
If you don't drink this,
No, I can't be just like I'm just gonna hold this. I'm gonna force him to drink it. Lemon
You
can
can't
go like
force
this down
someone to
his
drink
throat.
something. You can take
Yeah.
a horse to water, but you can't force it to drink.
Yeah.
You hold their mouth open. You pour liquid in their mouth.
They will spit it out.
You can just not swallow it.
Yeah. I will
We'll
put the
drown.
dagger to his throat and tell him,
I will slit your throat if you do not drink this. It will
Hang on.
not kill you.
So he
Nick,
holds
how
your
are
nose
you
like
arguing
this.
this?
It
So you
doesn't
hold-
actually
so-
force you to drink.
This
you
is crazy. This is
could
a
just
crazy
spit it
argument.
out.
Yeah, you would just spit
Like,
it
hold
out.
your own
heads back
nose.
like that.
Yeah.
And you've got your mouth held open.
You close your throat. See?
That's all over my keyboard now.
Yeah, but you were able to purse your lips and stuff. You weren't just like, oh, whatever, fine.
You don't have to
No,
swallow.
Nick, this is crazy
This is
argument.
crazy
It
train. You've
happens
watched
all
too
the
much
time in
TV.
movie. It happens all the time in TV. Is that you
Yeah,
really tell
but
me that's
also-
impossible?
Yes. Yes. TV's it's like using a defibrillator to bring someone back to life who's died. Like, it's not how they work.
All right. Yeah.
If you don't drink this, I'll fucking kill you. Just gonna make you a little drowsy, okay? It's a normal, what's the word? Ransom. You don't want to lose your life over this.
He fails his morale check.
He drinks it.
You'll never get away with this. My family will come looking for me. He drinks it. They'll hunt you down. They'll get you.
The copperheads will get away with it.
All right. Once he
that.
drinks it,
Fuck him.
I say to the other two, I'm gonna get the others. You get him dressed.
Yeah. I'll get him in the change of clothes before he gets too drowsy. He can't change his own.
Yeah.
I'll take his dagger. Does he have a dagger?
Nope.
Nothing. Didn't have any. Didn't bring anything.
Nope.
Any components or anything that I would find weird.
We
Sorry, I
paid
just
a lot
had
of money
to-
for that microphone.
No,
now.
you're good.
Should not spit tea blindly onto my desk where I have a bunch of electronics. That's maybe not the smartest thing I've ever done in my life.
You had to make the point.
It was worth it. It was worth it. I need a new keyboard
yeah.
anyway.
Did he
Making
bring
me
his
look
signet
stupid was
ring?
worth it.
Of course, it's on his hand. It's one of the
Oh.
rings you took off.
Yeah, that's mine now.
We can sell it to Bob
Any
Brown as well,
components?
perhaps.
Yes, he does have components.
I wouldn't know what they are.
Correct.
So I'm just gonna leave them in the room. None of them seem interesting to me. Doesn't have any money. Took his ring. Took his necklace. Not gonna put any of the rings on right now because being seen with them could be bad. I'm just gonna put them into my jewelry box that I will open up and put them in the bottom, in the false bottom specifically.
Okay. Done.
He gets in full change of clothes.
Lemon as well needs to dress up like a guy.
Yep, Lemon's
Yeah.
gonna start changing. I'm gonna give him a little haircut.
Ah, yeah, you
Nice.
trim his hair, make it nice and
Yep.
short.
I'm gonna shave an eyebrow off.
Okay. Done.
If he has a beard, I'll shave
Well,
his beard. If he
Yeah, I don't think you have a razor blade on you, so probably no actual shaving.
got a dagger.
You can't shave with a dagger. You would need to be literally razor sharp.
True.
Yeah.
What?
We're traveling. We
I'll
might
make
take a razor.
I'll make a note to make sure to have a razor next time. Mm-hmm. Because I think that could be really useful.
It could be super
okay.
useful. Wow.
I'll cut his hair, as
Excellent.
I said. Yeah.
Would I not have a razor in my disguise kit?
That makes sense, yeah.
Ooh. Probably, actually.
And my disguise kit is here because I
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
give him makeup.
Good
grab
call.
I'll
Very
grab your
good
razor out
call.
of there and shave
Do
his
you want me to do a
eyebrow.
disguise skill check?
Yeah.
No, because the
let's
disguise
see.
skill is mostly just for disguising. Most of the disguise is not actually the visual; it's the personality that comes across.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you
we
can
make him
take
look
one
a
of
bit
your extra
different.
cloaks that you've got.
We do the same with Lemon, make her look manly. I think she probably wears, like I said, like 3 or 4 of her dresses to like bulk her out.
I'd probably tell her to
Big
cut her hair
coat
too,
over it.
if she would.
Well, can't I just pull my
No.
hood up?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And then I will go down to the 2nd level and knock on their door, basically as a signal to say, like, get ready to go. And we're going to come down with the guy. They're going to come out with us, and then we're all going to walk down together, you know?
All right. Eraser takes this moment to shine. He's going to act like the drunkest person and, provide cover in the front of the party.
Yeah.
And the group.
Milkweed check?
Oh, right,
Oh,
his
yeah.
con. I had just assumed it worked when it does not necessarily.
What's his con?
We're gonna just roll it
we roll
from the
his con
sheet.
separately?
I did. I
Roll it.
rolled all of his stats already.
Oh, okay.
I've been rolling off a character sheet for him. His con
Wait,
is
so it's-
16.
Okay,
So it's
he's fine.
DC 10 to die,
DC
DC 26 to fall asleep.
Correct. And he has he has 16 con, and he rolls a modified 36, natural 20 on his con
Yep.
check,
So
which
he's
is just
fine.
barely enough to make him drowsy since you gave him a double dose.
That's fine. Drowsy, he's got a knife to him. If he knows that
And a
if he
ball
makes a
gag.
sound, he's gonna die.
Oh, and he's well gagged as well, I guess, yeah.
And his one bodyguard is gone.
Yeah, we told him he's gonna get
Yeah.
ransom. So yeah, we go.
All right.
Yeah, we got to move quick. Yeah, we don't want to give this bodyguard time to come back.
The party heads down the stairs. I'm just going to use Lemon to be the party as we head down these stairs. Oh, she's in her nicer clothing. Thank you. She heads down the stairs to the 2nd floor. Oops. Which is right over here. As the party reaches the 2nd floor over here, Eraser pulls off from the group, goes in front, walks up to the door, and begins to walk in, and is immediately stopped by the man at the door with the flanged mace.
Nice.
And Eraser does the oh, come on, are we still doing this? As the rest of the party tries to shuffle past him quickly. Eraser tries to push his way in and then back his way into this corner to try and draw attention inside the room. His strength check is a failure. He does not get that far. He immediately is pushed back out. The man with the mace tells him to leave as the party makes the way over here. Eraser makes a big stink. You don't know who I am, all right? I'm here to show you. Well, hey, what's with the sword? Hey, the mace isn't a necessary. I should call the cops. I should call the local sheriff. He'll tell you can't treat me this way. I'm a citizen. As everyone else goes down, Eraser lingers at the top, slowing, making a scene, making a fool of himself, acting real drunk as everyone else hurries down here. Now, our dearly beloved soon-to-be Baron Wilhelm Shacklebrook, he might have an opportunity because he's only drowsy. -2 to AC, -2 to hit, loses initiative. He's gagged, but can
components.
he somehow draw
He also
attention to
failed
himself?
his morale check,
Yes.
and he has a dagger to his back.
Yes. But he's being led away. This is a scary situation. Can he
is.
come up with some last-ditch effort to escape? We're going to roll a morale check, 2d10 plus 9. He needs a 21 or higher. It's a 16. Maybe he could come up with an idea, but it all happens too fast, and you've got him downstairs before anything
chicken
happens.
shit.
Eraser gets kicked out of the bar. They push him down some stairs. They physically have to remove him from the premise, but by then the party's gone.
Okay. There's no walls in this town, right?
No walls.
We need to go and get our horses. So once we're away from the Faraday's far away, I will go with Percival. Back to the... Where are we keeping our horses, actually? Is it in the stable
Just
attached?
at the
There's
taverns.
there's a stable here where you can rent
Okay,
space.
so we just get our horses and, we head off down to the Misty
He'll
River.
ride with Percival. He's tied up and everything.
Now, the thing is that this place in the nighttime, bit sketch,
Yeah.
7 people, 8 people actually, with all these folks going down the street, kind of looking rough, looking a little drunk. A couple people like really bundled up. You head over to the stables. You notice there's a group of 3 folks who are hanging out near the stables doing something else, and they stop their conversation as you walk up to the stables. And you go in, or you go to them. There's someone on duty, so you can't just steal anyone's horse at any given time.
Yeah.
You got to be like, hey, I'm here for my horse. Either you have to recognize me and know which horse is mine, or I give you like a little token, a little chit to turn to collect my horse. But of course, you don't want to bring the Lord into the stables while you're doing
it's
that.
just
So you
me,
gotta,
it's me and Percival.
I think
Right.
I'd come with you.
Okay. I don't think
Well-
we need to fight these guys. Just pay them.
3 guys outside. They see something a little sketchy happening. They're outnumbered.
What's
pretty
sketchy?
badly.
Oh, they see the whole group.
Yeah, they see your group with like 2 people
We're
kind
getting
of hunched
horses
over.
at the middle
and-
of the night. You know.
Yeah, there's a little
Sketch.
suspicious going on. One of them will walk on by. Hey, buddy! Oh, but both of you are inside, so you can hear this outside. An Eraser will perk up, leaving Sierra and Goat to guard the Lord. Buddies!
Wait, so we're inside the stable.
The 3 of you and Mooton and Percival are inside the stable, as you've called out, and the other...
Oh, okay.
People are
I
outside.
thought it was like as we're walking up, there's
Yeah, I
people
thought we were
guarding the
splitting
stables. Yeah. So
they're not
if-
guarding,
if
they're
it-
just like ruffians nearby.
Okay, so they're just nearby. Well,
They're just nearby ruffians. It's
Yeah.
not until 3 of you go inside and 4 of you stay outside that the ruffians show up.
I
when
don't
I
think we
hear
need
that,
3
I
people
will
to
go
into the
out. I will
stable.
go out there.
Yeah, you
Okay.
go out. Me and Percival can get the horses.
So you see Eraser walking up to this person who's approaching. And the guy's got his hands out, but he's also got these like long sleeves and this big cloak. He's really baggy and kind of shapeless. And none of you
I'll
guys are
start
in
walking
armor. And Eraser's just like puts a hand up like, buddy, we ain't got time for you today. Highway, or we do this my way. The guy will... He'll say to Eraser, it's fine. You can go your way. I just wanted to know if you happen to have a couple spare copper. It's real cold out these nights. Anything? And Eraser, just trying to get rid of the guy, reaches into his pocket and just chucks some coins into the street. Nameless coins, probably gold coins. I think that's what he's carrying. The friends nearby will go dig for him. Okay, situation diffused. It's fine.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Gold is a
Right.
powerful motivator for these fucking morons.
You get your gold. I'm sorry, you get your
as they're
horses.
all on the ground and they're getting the horses, I'll go up to them and I'll pull out 10 more gold. I'll pull out a handful, so I don't know, 1d20 worth of gold. I'll pull out 11 gold pieces, and I'll just kind of like hand them out to the guys and just be like, "You didn't see us."
It's dark. Still can't see you.
All right, I'll take it off my sheet.
All right.
Okay.
Gold
we
in
make our
hand.
escape.
Horses. The party rides off. To where?
To the place where we get killed by the unicorn.
Yeah,
So,
Misty River.
I mean, it's
the Misty River.
it is a dark, moonless night. You want to go traipsing through the forest?
We got a lantern.
I think we can get to the edge of the forest and then make camp.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fine. Get a few
You've-
miles away.
You head out. You get out of town. You follow the river on the north side of it. Going by lantern light.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Now-
we'll make camp before we go into the forest. That's probably too risky.
I need to make some rolls. I can't tell you what they're for, but they're important. What is... Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can get to the edge of the woods. It'll be late by the time you get there. You got to move pretty slowly. You've got lantern light, but even so, like, you know, you've got 6 horses and 8 people, so it's slow going with the,
Relatively
with the one
slow
lantern.
going.
Yeah. You can
Okay.
get to the woods.
And I think we do, like, you know, none of us are spellcasters, so it's not like we need 8 hours. You know, we get a good 3 or 4 hours sleep before sunrise, and then we get moving again.
Yeah.
Now, is this the plan? The plan is to go all the way back out here. Wasn't the plan to deliver a message?
No. We're going to get back to the camp, get everything safe, and then me and Pigeon go back to Cauldron, disguised as peasants, to deliver the letter to the Shacklebrook.
How many
I mean,
days
I
later
think-
is that going to be?
I think you and I should go deliver the message after first camp. So we double back.
Maybe this is the conversation that's being had at sunup. After everyone's tired, you've gotten just a few hours of sleep. Someone had no sleep as they were taking watch. Probably Racer.
What's your suggestion for that, Moot? Why?
Because then we're going to spend a few days getting up, and then it'll be 3 days later. You know, there is going to be a lot more questions than if we just go and deliver a message the night of.
I don't know that I buy that. I think they'll still ask as many questions.
I'm not.
Eraser will speak up that if you get a message to them sooner, you know, they'll be preparing. If they think he's missing
They'll be
and we
looking
don't
for
show
him.
up for 3 days, like their response is going to be pretty different. I don't know which
good or
one's
different bad?
better. Do we want them to panic for a couple days, or do we want them to immediately know that he's gone?
Immediately know that he's gone because they got to get all the shit from Stromheim. We don't want to be
Yeah.
waiting there a month.
Well, here's the thing. It only happened last night, right? We deliver the message now. They come out looking for him. There's a limited area where we can be. He's been gone for 3 days. Their search area is much, much wider at that point.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
So I think it's like, I think we just go to the camp, make sure we're not being followed. Then me and Pigeon will head back. We'll deliver the letter, make our way back to the camp, and then we just wait for them to turn up.
Get all the information you can out of this guy, Eraser. You know, other targets.
Yeah. Well, let's get to camp, and then we'll do it proper. And you'll get to camp later this day. You know, you'll go along
that's
the
not
edge of
too
the
bad
river. You'll make it to camp. You'll settle down. You can take the ball gag out.
This is a good time to also ask how much money he thinks he can be ransomed for, because in theory we could be way off of the 5K.
Well, it's based on good information, though, right? It's come from Bar Brown.
It is, but I don't think there's a problem. There's a hurt with asking.
I just don't know that we can trust him. He gives an honest answer.
I mean,
You can-
who
I
was
mean,
it?
there's no-
Caesar.
there's no-
He said
the-
that's I'm worth more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no harm in asking him, you know?
Yeah, so let's ask him.
Yeah, once
Well,
we
buddy,
get him
how much
into
do you
the
think you
forest-
can be ransomed for?
He looks across the group, the 7 of you. He looks specifically at Lemon and shakes his head. Should have known there was something wrong about you.
What kind of
It
person
looks-
would be named Lemon, you idiot?
Country girl. A good country girl. And he looks at you,
well.
Pigeon.
You're half right.
Masks on, by the way.
Oh, masks have been
masks for-
on all
Yeah.
day.
Definitely when we were leaving. Yeah, I mean we had masks for a reason.
Yeah. But as you're traveling, like, you're essentially going to be wearing masks for multiple days straight.
I think that's fine.
I think it's easier to blindfold him than wear the mask.
That's fair. Yeah, Masron is
a
really
great
leading, and
idea.
we'll blindfold
masks.
him. Yeah, that's totally
We
fine.
need the masks for when we do the exchange, is when we need them for.
Yeah.
All right. You ask him how much he's worth, and he gives you a good eyeing.
He's
He's
blindfolded.
He squints in the direction that the voice came from. Yeah. I don't know what the rest of my family's finances are, but they care. They care a lot. I'm the hope of my entire house.
Play ball, and it can stay that way.
Well, how much? 10,000 gold?
No. No one's got that sort of money anymore. No one outside of Drekis, at least. Maybe the King of Mystria. He might be lucky to get half that. But even that would be stretching it. Times are tight. Coffers are low. Expenses are high.
What about magic items? What do you got?
Now that is interesting.
We don't have anything. It's not like that. They're not just sitting around. Sorry, this is not his voice. That's way too gravelly of a voice. We're not just like sitting around collecting magic items. All right. If you had some semblance of an education, or you had any idea of how the real world worked, you'd understand that there's not just magic items hanging off of every nobleman's waistcoat. You know?
I give him a punch to the stomach.
Yeah, he deserved that. Yeah.
Idiot.
You don't have any magic items in your family? Really?
I think my uncle had a love potion once. Don't know what happened to it.
Okay, yes, yeah. Uncle who?
He's not with us anymore. He didn't
I
have it in
punch
his
him again.
estate.
What's his name?
Warner. Uncle Warner.
Okay. Well, we'll take 5,000 gold, or I guess we'll take your head.
That'll do.
He stays quiet.
All right,
Appropriately
so
cowed.
I think now, when we all get settled in Camp Pigeon, I can start getting ready for the journey back. We get our peasant outfits on.
Yeah, we keep this guy blindfolded, just folded just the whole time.
All right.
We'll turn him around too. Like, we'll do the whole fucking 9 yards of like disorienting him,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then we'll head on the way.
So you guys stop at the camp. The two of you turn around that same day and head back.
Yeah, I give a racer not that same day, in the morning, whenever we
Yeah.
can,
We want to do it during the day.
during
Like,
the
you know.
daylight. Yeah, I give a racer the necklace and all of the rings that he had.
Ooh, can appraise them, Neil?
Yes, you can.
I mean, it would be better for a racer to appraise them, but I try my best.
Yeah, give me an appraisal check. Natural 1. Excellent. You are very confident that you have absolutely no idea how much any of this is worth.
Fuck, a razor. What do you think all this is worth?
Takes a look. The skill. Eraser will roll a natural 12, modified 29. I'll take a look over the jewelry and go, oh, it's not as much as I would have expected. Maybe 100 gold at the most. Signet ring here is probably the most valuable thing, but I mean, if the little lord lives, doesn't really count for much. He'll just change it.
Yeah. Well, we didn't come here for jewels.
Yeah.
I'll say this,
We'll just give him his signet ring back. I mean, who cares?
but I think this. I have jewelry making. If we can take some sort of like stamp of it, and Eraser can use his forgery, there's a chance that we could maybe make something similar or passable. So we have wax candles, so we might do that.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
Because if we give it
Very
back to him, there's no
clever.
reason to change it.
Yeah, yeah. And he won't know
Very
that
clever.
we've taken the
Yeah.
copy. Good idea. So yeah,
All
we
right.
melt some candles and take a print of it.
Yep.
Eraser is going to do his very best. Make a forgery check. Natural 1.
It is what it is, yeah.
That's a bummer. He successfully makes an imprint in the wax of the ring. And it all looks like it's going according to plan, but somewhere between now and when he would use that, something
It's gonna get
happens
fucked up.
and the wax gets fucked and he loses his print.
Totally fine.
Yeah. That was a great
right.
idea though.
That was a good idea, yeah.
a good
Okay,
idea.
so I think in the morning, yeah, we get our peasant clothes on and we look to make it to the edge of the forest where we're going to camp before heading into Cauldron.
Yep.
Yep. So to be clear, we left Cauldron on Monday night.
Yeah.
We camped at the edge of the trees until Tuesday morning. Tuesday we head deeper into the camp, the proper spot. We hear
Yeah.
Tuesday. Oh, this will be Tuesday evening. It's 20 miles. Okay, cool. Never mind.
We should go on the other side, Nick,
Yeah,
of the Misty
yeah.
River and take the road in.
Oh, okay. So
Crossing
how
the
do we do
river is
that
a
then?
problem.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah,
we have
how
the
do-
boat to do that?
You do.
Oh, okay. So
You'll have to go back on foot then. You won't be able to take your horse on.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do that, then we'll cross the river and then head along the main road.
Because 2 people riding out of the fucking forest with
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be weird. So yeah, we'll
We
take a
can
little
s-
extra time.
Should we say that we were homeless living in the ruins of Misty Rapids?
I don't think you need a big story. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, they're going to ask, like, where did you get the note?
Yeah, that's fine then. Yeah.
We can say,
We
like,
were
we
just-
live in the ruins of Misty Rapids. They were there.
Yep. So I'm
I've
gonna
not
leave
read it. I can't
behind.
read.
I'm gonna leave behind all my platinum. I'll give him my. I'm gonna give Eraser 60 platinum. I'm just gonna put it in my hoard, and then I'll add it to my sheet if I get back. And then our payment will just have been 50 gold. I'm gonna leave my jewelry set. I'm gonna leave everything that basically makes me look like not a peasant. So I'll keep my dagger.
Just your dagger and your traveling clothes,
2 daggers
Yes.
and my traveling clothes. Yeah.
including your
for me.
magic dagger.
Yeah, but I'll have it tucked in my boot in a way that it would take me around to retrieve.
Okay.
But
Oh,
I'll leave
we
the steel
used
dagger on my side.
2 doses of the milkweed.
Okay. And Luther, how are you dressing to deliver this note back to Cauldron?
Yeah, I think I exchanged my nice jacket for a blanket that I just kind of hold over my shoulders. And I think I just take my 2 daggers.
All right.
And I'll like my tunic or whatever, I'm gonna like cut it up a bit, make it look more kind of like not, like more worn. Like it's maybe it was nice once, but it's now 20 years old. It's
I'll
not
roll
gonna
around in
last.
the dirt the day before we get there or something to, into the mud, I guess, to make it look like, dirty.
Okay. Now, here's the question. We're basically at the end of our session today. We could go maybe 15 more minutes. We can either just do the note delivery right now and then do everything else our next session, or we can do note delivery and everything else next session.
Let's
which I
do
think
the
is
note delivery. I think we
I
should
think
do
the
XP.
note delivery will be easy. Yeah, yeah.
No,
You
I
wanna
was
do
going to
it
say
now?
I was going to say do the note next time. Just let's
Okay.
do XP.
Sure,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
One
So
thing we need to think about actually is when we deliver the note, how are we going to get back to camp before? Oh, they've got to gather the money.
They gotta gather
So it'll
the
take them
money. They gotta
time.
come from
Yeah.
Stromheim. Yeah, we got fucking time.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's divvy out some experience points, and then we'll call it a day.
Good session though. Yeah. Well, we should get some decent XP because the plan went well.
Most of the XP will come with your ill-gotten gains, right? That's
Yeah.
where the majority of everything will come from. But there were some great ideas. There were some good rolls. It was a clever session
We
with
Did
just
some
a
good role play with Luke.
good role play with Luke. Yeah, good role play with the kid. Good role play with everyone, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We learned a
Probably
little bit more about
more-
Lemon's strengths.
Yeah, probably a little bit more, too much detail on the lemon barren Shacklebrook encounter.
It's nothing that 2/3 of the party haven't seen before. No. Yeah, no, 2/3.
What? Okay. Mooten, I loved your idea about the fake ring. That was amazing. This definitely doesn't save the party, but it's definitely a clever idea. So take 100 for that. Who said we should we should dress him up like it was also Mooten's idea to dress up the dude and haul him out that way, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. All right, so take 50 for the getting out of these areas. Luther, why don't you take 75 for engaging Cage to get like the lay of the land and start learning about things? That was very
what
good.
about for saving the party by suggesting that we don't go straight back to town so they have a wider search range?
Oh, that was very good. I don't know if that
like
saved the
that,
party,
didn't
but that's another 75 there. I need to assign Lucas 100 experience for saying, whatever we do, don't get in a bar fight, and then literally 2 minutes later saying we need to start a
True.
bar fight.
Well, that was a good idea, though. Yeah.
It's a terrible idea, but it was so iconic. So please take
Yeah.
100 for that.
Thank you.
When Lucas suggested trying to save the prisoner, and I said no, I would argue that was an idea that saved the party. Right? 'Cause if
Saving
we'd
the
have gone
prisoner was a
through
good
with it-
idea.
I don't know if that's an idea that saved the party, but that was a good idea. That's
was a good
100% a good idea. Do not try and save the prisoner who's literally on the execution block.
Yeah.
So please take 100 for that.
Oh, okay. Great. I was kind of joking, but I'll take it.
No, that my heart skipped a beat when that came up.
Yeah, that's classic moot, that though. All over.
No,
That's
I
classic
wanted to save
D&D
him, yeah.
player.
Yeah, sure.
There's plan followed by shiny object, and shiny object is always better than plan. I've been a player. I know how it works.
Do
You
I
gotta
get
live in that
anything
moment.
for my one lockpicking? The door.
There was no risk. It was a
Okay.
piece of shit lock, and you had
True.
plenty of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's just do another. Everyone role played their character well, so everyone gets 200.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think most of the experience will come after the loot.
I level.
Oh, nice. That's what we needed.
Go. All right. What are you at, bud?
48,121.
And that puts you at 7th level.
Yeah, it's 48,000.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Let me just open up Photoshop so I can adjust your stat block in the little overlays that rotate as you roll for everything.
I don't think we get too much. I think maybe we get +1 attack though.
+1 to hit
Yeah.
and thief skills and HP. That's it.
Yeah. Saves don't change, I assume.
I don't think so. You
I'll
get
check
10 in
it.
thief skills, right? Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah, saving
It
throws
is.
don't change. Thaco does change. Yeah. So yeah,
All right,
+1 to
move.
hit.
What's your new
10
HP?
thief
Roll
skills.
me a D8 plus your con mod, which I think is 0.
1d8.
It rolls a 6. You
Not
have 40
bad
hit
at all.
points.
It's pretty damn good.
That is
Fucking good.
a little
That's
bit
well above
less.
average, I think.
Yeah, it's less than twice Nick's second level character
Yeah.
in the other campaign.
Here's my new thief skills. I've put 10 in. 5 into lockpicking, obviously. He's just gonna always put it into that. I did 2 into move silently, which brings me up to a 14. I did 2 into hide, which brings me up to a 16, and I did 1 into climb, which brings that up to a 15. Thief skills are pretty good.
Yeah. Our thief skills are getting good now. Nice work.
Are we playing on Thursday or no?
No, I'm gonna
fuck!
put-
I can't play.
Yeah. My friend who's had a baby that I never get to see anymore texted me out of the blue and said, "Let's go to the pub on
For the
Thursday." So
pub.
I'm
Nice.
going.
So you gotta go. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's it, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for playing. We will be back in the near future.
Yeah. We'll see you when it auto plays into the next episode. All right.
Ciao.